Yeah, I spit raps like a heart attack, fast fatal heart impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and packs. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out, remember you're just freaked out. Get ready for defeat now, I'm gonna make you bleed out. Listen on repeat now and weed out all the weak now. Get up and make a change, don't remember yesterday. If you got something to say, speak your mind before your grave, cause your life is yours to save. Ain't nobody gonna change, everybody stays the same. So be different, make a name, huh?
I keep on moving forward, always getting closer. I march until it's over, and just like a soldier, I keep on moving forward, always getting closer. I march until it's over, and just like a soldier, I keep on moving forward, always getting closer. I march until it's over, and just like a soldier, always getting closer. I march until it's over.
It's ridiculous, I'm sitting this meticulous and limitless. While others out there spitting shit, got hits up on the charts and shit. I see why other artists quit, cause people don't reward your shit. They love to hate, but hate to live. Society, you swing and miss. And honestly, I get it, promise me you won't regret it. Wasting energy, forget it, don't look back, go on and get it. Bite the bullet just a bit, bite your tongue and don't say shit. Make your actions hard to miss, be a legend, not a myth. Yeah. It's obnoxious that I'm conscious, rapping honest as promise. Try to harness, as an artist, stay modest. It's a long quest, I will not quit till 10,000 people going off when I drop this. I gotta make it now, swear to God I'm breaking out. Swear to God I'll take a bow, stand the stage with the crowd, cause I got it figured out. I'm just honest and I'm loud, saying modest but I'm proud. No, I never had a doubt,
just like a soldier, I keep on moving forward, always getting closer. I march until it's over, and just like a soldier, I keep on moving forward, always getting closer. I march until it's over, and just like a soldier, I keep on moving forward, always getting closer. I march until it's over, and just like a soldier, I keep on moving forward, always getting closer. I march until it's over, and just like a soldier, I keep on moving forward, always getting closer. I march until it's over, and just like a soldier, I keep on moving forward, always getting closer. I march until it's over. I'm one of a kind, there ain't no one like me. So hard to find, it's the real damn thing. Don't be wasting any time, I got somewhere to be. Always on the grind, yeah, you know me. Hold the crown will be mine, you can call me king. A matter of time for you all love me. Finally at my prime, right where I wanna be. I'm one of a kind, there ain't no one like me. Put my money where my mouth is, I'ma get it now, kid. Heard around town, this sound is astounding. Feel my heart pounding, bass is surrounding. Think I finally found it, so I'm gonna mount it. Like an ex-girlfriend, I'ma get it back. Make a couple wrecks as I make a couple tracks. Stay on the attack as I'm writing every rap in a snapback. Black off his coke and his jack. Man, I feel good, dog, I feel good. Woke up a little richer, also with a little wood. If I could teach this shit, man, really wish I could. So listen up closely, I'll give you a push. I raise hell every time my lyrics pop up. I take shots at the haters with a sawed off. Girl, you better keep me up or I'll nod off. One shot, all I got, I will not stop. I'm one of a kind, there ain't no one one like me. So hard to find, it's the real damn thing. Don't be wasting any time, I got somewhere to be. Always on the grind, yeah, you know me. Hold the crown will be mine, you can call me king. A matter of time for you all love me. Find me at my prime, right where I wanna be. I'm one of a kind, there ain't no one like me.
Yeah, it's not enough, man, I want more. I keep on doing business, open every single door. I wanna be the richest, so you see me up on Forbes. I can do this through my music, that's how I even the score. I don't take it slow, man, I want it bad. Every single day, I'll be carving out a path. Like a girl with a tat on her back, all black. I'ma take her right back to my pad where it's at. I don't ever slack off, so you better back off. I'm about to blast off faster than NASA. Everybody stand up, put your fucking hands up. That's the demand, up. Welcome to the brand, bro. No, I'm not cautious, I take risks. And no, you can't stop this, I'm too slick. She knows that she wants it, so come quick, baby, know that I'm on it. I don't quit.
I'm one of a kind, there ain't no one like me. So hard to find, it's the real damn thing. Don't be wasting any time, I got somewhere to be. Always on the grind, yeah, you know me. Hold the crown will be mine, you can call me king. A matter of time for you all love me. Find me at my prime, right where I wanna be. I'm one of a kind, there ain't no one like me. I'm one of a kind, there ain't no one like me. I'm one of a kind, there ain't no one like me. I'm one of a kind, there ain't no one like me. I'm one of a kind, there ain't no one like me. I'm one of a kind, there ain't no one like me.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting. And I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all.
And we all got dreams, we all want things. But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
My strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun?
Have fun!
I guess I'll try this, try that,
Try that.
this. Gotta find what I'm good
What
at.
I'm good at.
I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life. Whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub.
And we all got dreams, we all want things. But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
Oh, yeah, we are back to Out of This World News. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to everybody who's watching. 17 people watching right now. Make sure you hit that like button. Most importantly, share this out, ladies and gentlemen, so we get a bigger audience and explode the show. Yeah, right. Okay, so it is presently 12:13:14. Just changed while I was saying it. PM here, Eastern Time, Montreal, Canada. Yeah, and it's kind of like raining outside. It's cloudy. It's not a nice day. But it's okay. We'll make it a nice day here on the broadcast today. Let me get rid of the banner and shout you guys out in chat while I'm at it. All right, welcome to the show. Peace. We got Mr. Look Within. Look Within is in the house. We have Michelle Moretti, Rachel Zinger, and Shtick. Welcome, Shtick. Thanks for telling me to have a great show. Hopefully that will be the case. Welcome, Christina, Ixtos Leopoulos. And we also have Mr. Rodney Kitley, Jackie Fox 333. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Verily's in the house. We also have Jay Phillips, the Miracle Man himself, alive and well, ladies and gentlemen. And I believe we have ended the shout out for the chat for the moment. We'll be shouting you guys out as you walk into the show, and salute the chat and the host, myself, Mr. OTW, aka Patrick, the host for today. So make sure you guys don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and if you guys want to have access to phenomenal shows and epic broadcasts, make sure you hit that become a member join button right there, and you'll have access to over 400 videos. You got the Off the Wall with Patrick and Paul season 1 and 2, the Grand Rising talk show, and we also have the 30-day Be the Best Version of You challenge on there. We've got the Out of This World series. I leave up about the 3 last lives that we do, and the rest is all for members only. So be sure to go ahead and click that button if you want to have some, when there's nothing on and it seems to suck. There's nothing playing or whatever's on at that moment, like whatever, the broadcast really sucks. That's why you want to be a member. And at the same time, you're helping to support the channel, right? To help this thing grow here, so we can do what we love every single day of our lives. This is what I love to do. All right, so especially now that I'm kind of like fusing the musical aspect of it to the broadcasting part, so I'm having a ball. We got Mr. Daddy's Big Funk Supremes in the house. What's up? Thank you for being here. Welcome to the show. Now, I'm not too sure. Anything happened special over at Jack's yesterday or something like that? I was wondering what the hell was going on over there. We had an epic freaking broadcast over at OTW Music and Art yesterday. Right after Proper Instruction Motivates People went live around 8 o'clock Eastern Time, and Freedom Grower and I, aka Dick, we freaking jammed it out like crazy. It was a great stream, man. We had a lot of fun, and for those who were there, I believe you guys enjoyed it. But we're gonna have more of those. I believe like every Tuesday night, I'm going to be doing that particular broadcast over on OTW Music and Art, and I will not be broadcasting from OTW News because it just doesn't fit, right? Well, in my opinion, because this channel is like, for me, it's the broadcasting aspect of it, the open panel. We have like little music days, which I was planning on, on Fridays review OU812 because they play Thursday evening, and Friday when I go live, I think I just review that and have everybody anticipate the next Sunday, because I'll be playing there, because for sure every Sunday evening I'm going over there, and afterwards I produce one kind of similar kind of thing. It's not the same at all, but kind of like similar concept. on the Tuesday forward. So, all right. So we got Christos backstage. What's up, Christos? Welcome.
Hey, so yeah, man, yesterday we should definitely check out Jack Talcott's stream, man, because I didn't catch all of it. I caught more of the end, and I don't know how much airtime Paul actually got up there, because when I checked in, it was kind of in the middle of him gaslighting Paul and having him up, and there was a panel going. So I think, yeah, maybe we should check it out. I can go comb through the timestamps here in a second, but I also just wanted to mention that I happened to check in on the Sanity machine yesterday, and he doesn't have the stream up anymore.
Okay.
And I don't know if anyone else saw it. I did tell Snafu before he came up to join you guys in guitar. Maybe some of the crew caught it, and he or someone else can let us know. But the Sanity machine and Bex were getting into it again, like I had seen them in the past, and I was like, oh no, man. You know, I hate to see it, man. It's like when worlds collide, right there, bro. So that was some interesting optics, but you know, I wasn't about to like screen record it or try to, you know. I have fun with this stuff, but I can't be like, nothing against the people that do want to record a lot of stuff, like, you know, but you know, Tareks and others out there that talk about how they're documenting everything's recorded. You know, there's a value to that, but as we saw from yesterday, with the corniness from Cynthia, she's like, oh, it's for legal purposes, just in case, like, you know, the LARP goes too far at a certain point, where it's like the Venus Cupcakes, the Cynthias, and the whoever else.
Dude,
Be playing
somebody
around,
just dropped me something in private chat.
What?
I'm
not
slow
hitting
state.
the link if it's a link, yeah.
Yeah, I hit it already. I went and checked. It's slow state speed dating with Lauren De Laguna and Thorpe, Grace Thorpe.
But that's a weird timestamp, man. Is it just happening?
Yeah, it's a 1/11/11. That's like really, really weird, man. Hold on a sec. Yeah. I'm gonna go for it. Speed dating with Lauren De Laguna and fucking Thorpe. I just saw it. Thorpe's up there, man.
I'm guessing that was Snafu, maybe. I don't know. It was Yo, so 2 caps.
But I don't see slow state. Oh, there he is. Okay, so the timestamps is not accurate. It's actually 11/11/57. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm kind of like, okay, this is kind of interesting. I'm not sure. Yee. Do we watch this or what?
Is this live recently or now?
It's hold on, let me just check. It was 15 hours ago.
We might as well check in on it, you know, because anyway, it's just.
Yeah, and then we'll hit on. I have Jack. Yeah, I have Jack lined up right after that.
Okay.
This is probably a short segment.
Usual gaslighting abuse loop.
This is gonna be so funny.
But it'll be worth checking out nonetheless, I'm sure.
All right, bring that up on stage. Full screen it. It's gonna be so funny.
Yeah, this
the chat is screaming
weird,
for somebody
man.
named Troy.
Yeah, can someone explain to me who the fuck Troy is? I mean, I see him on stage.
I don't know.
Like, is he a content creator? Who exactly is he?
YouTube legend?
I'll look him up while the speed day goes on. Okay, cool. So Flo, you said you're gonna do all three girls?
Francis?
All three.
No, I know Troy Francis. All right, I'm gonna take myself off.
Hi, Lauren. Hi, Grace. Hi, Chrissy.
Hi,
Hey, how are you doing?
Good.
Did I get a real man here?
I hope so.
Not.
This
because
is the
I
first
hope
speed
so.
dating panel I've ever been on, and I chose this one specifically because if each one of us went on a date, I could see over the long term how it would evolve into toxic relationships each way. Fun but toxic. and each one of you in different ways. So that's why I thought this would be a fun panel to date. Do you want me to go into that, or do you want to
I'm
ask me
dumbfounded.
questions first?
No, just
I think
let's
the
go
meth-
into
the meth
that.
is
I
really
wanna,
showing
you
right
got my
now.
interest. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, Grace and I would obviously have a dysfunctional relationship. It'd be histrionic, hot and cold, a lot of yelling and fighting. That's not a bad thing. I've had them.
That's what she's into.
They are fun.
Yeah, it would be pretty fun. Let's be honest.
It would be fun.
You're pretty hot for a divorced guy, so
Thank you. You're pretty hot for.
for
I don't have a place
His
to
eyes
land
are-
on them.
his
you're
eyes are
stuttering.
looking-
You're just pretty hot.
Uh-oh, did I make you blush? Did I make you blush?
No. Chrissy, I think we would have sort of similar dynamics, but it would be more hidden. I feel like I don't know you. You're the only one on the panel I'm not familiar with, so I'm gonna make some assumptions about you that may or may not be right. But you've got a crazy side,
I definitely do.
yes. But you don't lead with it.
No.
But you might stab me.
If you decide,
And
yeah.
and
Oh,
Lauren
God.
is the good girl.
Aw,
And congratulations on becoming a lawyer.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Good girls are the most fun to turn bad.
This is terrible.
And but I feel like at the end of the day, we come from different places and we might have different values. And I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not from Laguna Beach. And getting in a fight with a rich lawyer is never a good idea. I feel like we would have a falling out ideologically. You would start fucking up my life, but then would not ever fuck it up all the way because you're too empathetic. And I would pull out some charm at the last minute. So
That's beautiful.
Hmm.
That's a beautiful idea.
but I would corrupt you.
Yeah, how so?
Well, so the first thing I thought when I saw this panel is that
Gagged, absolutely
that
gagged. No,
Grace-
no, nothing to say.
no, I have something to say. Grace would do bondage and we'll talk about it. Chrissy probably will do bondage but not talk about it. Lauren
I don't do
thinks she won't do bondage.
I don't do bondage.
I've seen you with ball gags.
Yeah, as a prop for streams, bro. I mean, I would tie you up and do dirty things to you, but
Right.
you're probably into that.
I am.
I'd be
into that.
down to sit and watch Big Lebowski with you.
Great movie.
Right. Yeah.
It's my
Great
favorite.
question, Jackie. Where is
What pissed you
Mrs.
off?
Flo for this? Interesting optics.
I don't know. It's just a guess.
Those are
Did you get those
Shrek
from
the Rap-
Hobby Lobby?
they're canvas paintings. I bought them from an artist. I actually traded him guns for them.
No, you didn't.
You,
Swear to
you
God.
think those are
What
worth
kind
guns?
of guns?
AR-15s. I got a bunch of paintings from
Slow
him. His
State
name
is such a fool. Has no
Ocean Clark.
truth in his soul, just
And
wants to
back when-
chase slimy beaver.
I've lived a lot of different lives in 37 years. Back in a previous one,
Mark Jones
Oh,
says,
yeah,
what a
you're
douche.
felon?
I am, but I'm eligible for.
This is
expungement in 2
crazy,
months.
yo.
Congratulations. That's
Let's
huge.
get you non-eligible stat.
Well, and I've already got the paperwork filled out because I did my math wrong and thought that I could file in December, but I can't.
So when it's expunged, you'll be able to vote and own weapons again, or no?
I already have my voting rights reinstated. I don't use them because I'm jaded politically, but I do want my gun rights back.
Yeah, that must be really devastating that you owned like a bunch of AR-15s and can't and had to get rid of them all. Is that why you treated them for
Well,
winning?
I forfeited them in a plea deal.
Okay.
That's part of the way I got the plea deal I got. And for anybody watching, I have a drug felony. Was that I had $100,000 worth of guns that were legally owned to forfeit.
That sucks. I do kind of feel like I've heard the argument that we should make all drugs legal, and I'm not sure about that. I just don't I also feel really bad that people get felonies for like personal use of drugs. Dealing, I understand. You're like trafficking, but I do feel bad for people who get
Boring. Can we get back to
a
Jack?
felony charge for personal
Okay, I
use.
can't stand slow state
But you know
anymore.
that
This is
the
enough.
legal
It's
distinction
like, what are we,
between
5-10
distribution
minutes of this
and
shit?
personal
It's
uses
petty.
It's terrible.
is what
I mean, you know, you
Quantity.
got
It's-
like,
yeah,
I
that's
don't,
what
I
it was
don't
for
know
me.
the Chrissy one there, but the way she's presenting, you know, I mean, we all know Lauren, I mean, and Grace. We all know the backstory there. We all know Mr. Slow State. So, I mean, you know, we could all make our clear and precise conclusion of what this will end up turning into. So we can move on to Mr. Jack. The Jack is much more interesting. I don't know why. Jack fascinates me. I got this weird thing. I think it's because he makes me laugh. It must be something like that. I don't know. Christos, what do you think?
Hey, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, coming in loud and clear.
So, all right. You know, what we just saw there made me think of specifically the last stream that I saw you on Mel's, and man, you know, it's funny, bro. It's funny how some of these females out here will genuinely be simping or thinking
Yeah.
flow state is
But did you
something.
see all it took was for me to play a little bit of guitar and bye slow state. No more interest. It's like all of a sudden he disappeared. It's
Well,
like,
and that's
oh,
the thing too. It was humble. It was a humble brag. It was a great balanced. Yeah, like you really brought it. You know, but you're not someone that's gonna like, you know, you're gonna just do your thing. You know, you're not gonna be annoying and like everywhere you go, just constantly bring out your guitar and be like, hey, I can play guitar. Look at me. Like, you know. You're
no,
not
I usually
corny
bring it
about
out because I'm asked to. Like the LC's broadcast this morning is like 225 people watching. He goes, I just say hi in chat, man. He goes, hey, dude, I saw you playing on your show. You're playing Sweet Child of Mine. I want you to come up here and fucking play Sweet Child of Mine for me, man. I was like, I didn't go because I was like in my pajamas, just got up, and he's been streaming for hours, you know. But it just the fact that, you know, I'm being asked to come up and play. This is fucking great, dude. I'm like, yeah, all right.
Well, I mean, check it out, and then go ahead after I say this. But it's like the white gorilla. If the white gorilla Paul has a tongue of silver and gold, then I guess you got fingers of silver and gold. That's why y'all are collaborating. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, that was something I was trying to explain to Slow State at one point when I found myself on the same panel as him, which I believe was on Mel's. Yeah, I said, you know, like it's like going into a room with a bunch of musicians, right? You'll end up situating yourself with the top musician. If you're a top musician, you'll end up placing yourself with the top musicians. Unless you want to teach the other musicians something, like the ones that have less experience, and you want to be a teacher, then fine, you go with that group. But it's like an automatic thing. And once you play, let's say with somebody that's not as good, you kind of like dumb down. You don't really want to be a virtuoso because you don't want to discourage the person that's playing with you, right? You want that person to learn, so you won't like that vanity part of you will not. But what it will do is that your ego will fucking kick in when you're with somebody who plays guitar. Let's say I'm talking about guitar, who's a lot better than you. Then you're like you're challenged, right? You're met with an opportunity to surpass yourself, become a better musician. And I guess you can correlate that to speaking and whatever like venue you're actually a part of. And Christos left. How can he just like leave like that while I'm speaking to him? It's terrible. All right, so let me drop a link for anybody else who wants to join the show. And all right, so let's just play Jack. See what the hell's up to with this. I'm gonna go check what the timestamp is. Okay, he had Mr. Goofy on him with him there. He did another hour-long monologue, maybe more than he had Mr. Unslavious. All right, there we go.
There really is.
Let's
With
check
the
this
real.
out.
So we've got a guest. I'm grateful
All good,
to
Christos.
see, and welcome aboard, Silent Release, God of all media.
Oops.
How you doing, brother?
Oops.
Please don't play the silent game. I'd much rather have a conversation. I know we can have fun.
I'm making dinner.
There
I
we
just
go.
wanted to be here to support you in my
Thank
silent release like way.
All right. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's good to have you. I'm telling you, I was thinking about you earlier and had things. What happened earlier? Things happened and I didn't pursue a thought, but I was considering trying to join you today. I had some ideas. I imagine this possibility. Well, actually, it started out as a selfish thought. My thought was, as I was preparing some ideas to discuss today,
As most Talcottian thoughts start off a selfish one.
dude, I'm all alone. If I had others in my life, I'd be thinking of them more. But I was on my own today, and I was thinking about me, and I was realizing, well, I was thinking about me offering me, and how much better I could offer me if I had like visual aids, popping up some of these words so to make what I'm saying make sense, help what I'm saying make sense. And then I was like, well, how the hell do I do that? And I don't want to learn all this PowerPoint and all this. I don't want to learn it. I don't. So what I do want, I want a team that broadcasts. I want to.
He wants somebody else to do the PowerPoints for him.
Paul,
This is great.
you're the first one to come to mind. Broadcasting team. I think we can do some incredible stuff together.
You gotta
I
be
agree
your
with that. I'm totally open to both worlds. I think the other world that has to be addressed though is the physicality, right?
You gotta be your own broadcasting team,
like
Jack.
lately, Jennifer and I have been looking more into this adverse possession because there's a lot of abandoned properties with a lot of energy in them and history, and it's a beautiful area, but the properties are falling into decay. So I'm learning how to use the common law and claims, or she's looking at the legal process side of it. But I'm going, why can't I or Jack Talcott or anyone else use the common law and common sense to acquire property if we're going to fix it up and beautify the area, presuming that no one else has a claim on it, right? We're not squatting. We're not looking to rob or, have something that we're not going to use in trust and equity and, kind of bring benefit to the area. So I think that there's like a lot of power and value there. And I think it's gone overlooked, right? Like how much opportunity there is. Again, I'm not saying everyone should just go out and start using paperwork to take other people's shit. I'm saying if it's clearly abandoned and, in the rears and it's degraded and, dilapidated, why not allow the people to come in and beautify the area, bring benefit, life, and value to the community?
Hey, I love that, dude. That is it's a pretty great idea. And that's exactly it. We're watching. I mean, right now, this society, this world of America, especially, it's fucking crumbling. And so the stupid systems and the way it is, people would rather allow things to decay and to rot rather than people who have the intention of, hey, let's bring some value, bring some beauty back into this, preserve it, nurture it, grow it. This is what I'm talking about. Good for you. That's a creative way. And if you can, dude.
Well, forget it, Jack, because we have one of our supporters down there, Rebecca Joe, says just buy it and pay tax like everything else. She's not aware that you can't actually buy anything in this system presently. And we can only discharge debt using legal tender. But again, I get it. You got to work in this life. You got to save. You got to invest. You got to manage your affairs. But there's also other aspects to this creation and to this system and to common sense, right? So just what makes sense. So like Rebecca Joe, my question for you would be, let's say Jack Talcott's mother, works all her life, buys a house, lives in it, and then she's like 80 years old, and by virtue of the system being built to fail and backed by nothing, the inflation goes through the roof, and now her land tax is like 20 grand a year. Do we just boot Mama Talcott out of the house because she can't pay the tax vig because we're in inflation so deep that it's become unreasonable? Because that's what happens a lot of times. Old people get thrown out of their house because they can't afford at 80 to come up with $3,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 extra a year to pay these folks to take title over supposedly their property.
Right. That's what I actually want to deal with, is these systems that take the property away from widows, and this world is corrupt. Last night, actually, this comment, I don't know if you heard. I went to the city council last night. I don't know if you heard or saw that. And
I did hear that. Actually, Snafu's been your biggest proclaimer of experience there. So tell me about it. What happened?
Well, one of the discussions that was really, there was a couple of articles that were in the agenda regarding extending the time limits, right, for landlords to process evictions, changing it from a 60-day notice to, or not just eviction, but rate change, 60 days to 6 months. So there's a bunch of the landlords there presenting their side of why they're suffering, and it's just so hard to be a landlord, and we're giving people places to live. Yeah, that's what you're doing. It's like, holy shit, man. So the grifting is real, man. The grifting in the world is real. But our intentions, and that's the idea, is get the intentions in there. We can overcome this legalese nonsense. There was something else you said, though, too, that I was reminded of. Hey, we've got another guest in the back, but it may be one who wants to challenge your ego, Paul. And I don't want your ego challenged. I just want
it's kind of silly. As egotistical and narcissistic as I am, why would you ever want to challenge that?
People fucking line up. People line up to do it. You see it all day.
Why the hell not, Jack?
Oh God, the freak! Oh God, okay.
And actually, the freak he's an interesting character. I haven't given a lot of attention, but he's an interesting character too. Welcome.
Go ahead, the freak. I'm making dinner, so I'll be back and forth.
If you're there, the freak.
Yeah, I'm here. I've been hanging out over at Unslavia lately, and one of the things Paul's talking about is going out on the road, putting himself in position to be thrown in jail, like decastrated, and he thinks that somehow he's going to be doing a Jack Talcott Messiah complex, martyrism or whatever. I just want to know what you think about the idea of Paul going to jail and this whole truther thing. If it's a good idea, a bad idea, he should do it. Or, objectively.
I think it requires many different tactics. Myself, that's not the tactic I align with. I've been blessed. I've been lucky. I guess I've obeyed for a while too. I've stayed out of jail, for most of my life. So, every one of us is playing a different role. But was it Thoreau who wrote something about if there's unjust laws in the land, the only place for a just man is in the jail, in defiance of the unjust. I don't know. Someone said that. Something like that. And that's the truth.
Yeah, but we're talking about someone who has a record already, who won't be given mercy. Is going to put himself in a position to be nullified, neutralized in the movement, quote unquote. And, nobody even challenged him that it was a bad idea. I think there's something wrong with that.
Well, that's interesting. Is the idea or the fact that others weren't willing to offer different perspectives?
Well, both. I mean, they're, first, it's a bad idea. he's going to go back to his old, his old experience, going back to what's comfortable, quote unquote, to him. Probably, I don't know, maybe out of fear, whatever. We can analyze that. Whatever the reason, he's going to go back to that and think that's progress. Meanwhile, he's gained all the knowledge and experience. He could probably interpret law better with lawyers than some low-level police officer. Not get thrown in jail and actually cause change.
Well,
so I'm,
here to freak. I can see what you're offering, and I do agree. I think wisdom could be better served in a boardroom, perhaps, rather than on the front line. And I don't know, but we are all here to play these different roles. And to be honest, I'm very grateful to have crossed paths with Paul Unslave. And here, if I can, just real quick, Miss Margot, you are so quick to catch up when I offer any friggin' doubts. I mean, you pick up on the slightest things. So yes, when I spoke, when I offered, I'm trying to be. My number one goal is to be truthful, okay? And I was trying to remember, have I been to jail? I don't think I have, but I know I was taken in by the MPs. Did they throw me in the jail? I don't remember, but I don't remember if I've just been detained. I know I was never convicted of anything, but I might have been detained in a jail. So that's why I was cautious. I spent most of my life. At that time, that was a funny story, actually, but stationed in Germany as a young kid, drunk in the barracks. Somehow I walk in and I see two guys I know fighting. Big old moose from a town close to me, and this other guy named Mike. He was a wrestler, I guess, but the wrestler was beating the shit out of Moose. And so I jumped in thinking I could do something. And instead of jumping in to break it up, next thing I know, I'm on the floor getting kicked in the face in this big pool of blood. So I got my ass kicked that night because I couldn't show self-restraint or self-discipline. Ended up with the MPs, and I was good and drunk, so I know they took us somewhere, some way. And then the first sergeant came and picked us up. I think that's what happened. But see, life happens a long time ago. And
chalk that up to don't ask, don't tell. Don't worry about what she said.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take off on the story. But hey, I have been labeled too. And I don't know. Seriously, my life is so freaking nuts. The past several years have become so bizarre. I don't know if I was being mocked, I was being what's it called? Fraud. If it was fake, or if I have been charged with some sort of international support of terrorists through financial means. That was what I was told. Yeah.
Would you do? Donate to BLM or something?
No, I've talked to this young.
It's working with ISIS and the Mujahideen.
It's something. It's not. I can't remember the name of the group. They said it might have been, but it's out of Nigeria. It's a group out of Nigeria that I was allegedly, because I met a young man through.
Go ahead.
Grindr, a gay Nigerian young man.
Okay.
He started providing weapons to Hamas, the Nigerian sector.
No,
Facebook is entirely run by the CIA.
He's actually, from my experience, he's a very God-loving, very spirit-filled young man from Nigeria. And I ended up
most terrorists are. You just described all of the Muslim terrorists. They're very God-fearing and they're very animated.
You know what? I sent him a couple $100, and then a little later, I got these calls, and I called back, and it was, sounded official, some federal agency and whatever.
Alcott, this is why I have to I always I hate to do it because I know how it's going to be received, but it's my duty, it seems. Do you realize how gullible and naive you are at times and what you fall into? You literally gave what a Nigerian prince scam people a few $100s, and then he tried to double down and give you the terrorist scam. You got to send us 10,000 more or you're up for federal charges. Why are you giving Nigerian men money, Talcott? You have so much that you can give them a couple $100. What did he tell you? He's going to help you end wars and legal secrets. What was his hook? How did he get you?
No, for his agriculture stuff. He gave a pretty itemized thing about seeds and tools and all this stuff, and he shared photos too.
Mr. Talcott, I am growing heroin in Nigeria. I've been very profitable. He sends him 200.
No. Project, as he presented himself, and he's not the only one. See, this is the thing. My life has been bizarre, so I've just had to learn how to roll with shit. But I've met several people through social media like him who are doing these permaculture, agriculture. They're educating their community, growing crops for the community. And I've met some pretty amazing people around the world, and actually had conversations with them too. People doing some crazy stuff. I mean, I didn't really come back to him, but I met a young man. He's been in a refugee camp for the past 8 years. He's 26, no, longer than that. He's 26 years old. He's been in the refugee camp for 13 years. And
how's that possible?
It's something to do. I can't even remember where exactly. I think it's dealing with the conflicts in Sudan and other areas. But there's a zone that's set up where it's not, I guess it's not really part of any state. And they receive aid and they try and grow their crops. And what this guy's doing is he's helping women and children gaining education, teaching them different crafts and stuff so they can try and share
you just gave me an idea. What's stopping us from starting a Talcott Autonomous Zone like Chaz, and just kind of setting up in the middle of Spokane and going, this is an autonomous zone. We can receive aid and do trade from here, but it's unincorporated now. I am your leader, Jack Talcott.
Oh, Paul. Hey, I allowed
I'll give you an AK-47 like that one guy who was on the front page.
I think we need to put Jack in charge of making sure Paul doesn't go to jail, and Paul in charge of Jack's checkbook.
This kid, Talcott, this kid's obsessed with me, going to jail. He goes, hey, bro, you have wisdom and knowledge. Don't practice it, just preach it, because you might go to jail for actually living your information. I go, I don't think you get what I'm doing.
Well, dude, I mean, I've said it many a time. You have leadership ability, and these people on their channel
Dude, a leader who fails to take the frontline position is not a leader at all. He's a hypocrite. That's what you don't get about on the ground or warfare or honor or loyalty or bravery. You don't understand any of that. How could you be a real leader if you won't get to the front and carry the flag?
Leader.
That's what I know. So you can't talk on leading activities.
Wait.
Talcott just had a fucking epiphany. Go ahead, Talcott, please. Give this kid some clarity. He's in deep in his confusion.
Please realize.
I'm 15 years older than you, Paul.
It doesn't matter. Age is no barometer of development.
Catching
and
up on yesterday.
Go ahead, Talcott, please. Don't keep sniping at me. I'm trying to let Jack speak.
Please. Hey, I want you to please consider what you're saying, because I disagree with you. You might have some insecurities or doubts or maybe some confusion, but I suspect the reason you have so much faith in Donald Trump is because you believe you're not a leader. Those are connected together.
Right. It's a subconscious evaluation you've made of your self-worth and self-value. You don't lead and can't lead, so you gotta select someone else to do it for you. If it's not Paulie Unslaved, it's going to be Donnie Trump.
And that
you're idol worshiping, dude.
Here, wait. Let's not disparage. Hold on. Let's not dismiss, and we're not disparaging. Let's discuss the facts, because that actually might also point to why you're offering a concern, or at least a pattern of attention on the possibility of Paul going to jail. You see I see the validity in what you're offering and the concern, but it's revealing your concern, your fear, and your fear is coming from the fact that you don't, for some reason, I don't want to presume, but I believe you've found reasons not to trust yourself. That's the only reason you don't see yourself as a leader. You feel like maybe you've let yourself down, or maybe you've let others down. But we are all here. And actually, DeFreak, I've seen some of the ways you stand and you ask questions. You do have a way of leading yourself. So I encourage you to embrace that, not deny it. And then when you start looking at yourself, the good qualities of leadership that you know are within you, you'll see Donald Trump a little bit different, I promise.
And you'll see me a little bit different, because a man is just a man. And at the end of the day, I can't do it for you. If you believe I can, I definitely can.
That's
I'm not asking anyone to do anything for me, but I recognize leadership when I see it. I know I'm not a leader. I know I have zero charisma. I know my position, and I know my role. Okay.
Hey, okay. Sorry to interrupt.
Any of that's all that stuff is pseudoscience, hogwash, nothing.
Wait, please. Thank you for allowing the interruption. I don't want it to get argumentative. I don't want to be insulting. I want to honor what you said. You've not felt that pull. I get it. You haven't felt that pull or been placed in that position of being a leader. Paul has. He's found himself in that spot, right? Which way is that? There we go. However. Fuck, I'm so simple sometimes. Here, there's a reason we all have joined together. And DeFreak, maybe your role is not in the front line. Maybe it is not, shining the brightest. Maybe it's in support of some of those who are shining a little brighter, whether it's in your community, in your online, whatever it is. And here, Paul, the idea of the leader being at the front line, absolutely. But a true leader, avoids there being a line. Right?
No, I agree with that. It's about diplomacy. When I say that, it's just a figure of speech, right? Like he's saying he's worried about me doing diplomacy on the quote unquote front line. I'm not out there pulling guns on people. I'm not out there cursing people out. I'm giving them an opportunity to rise to an occasion, to be the men they swore they were going to be, that they failed at miserably. The same goes for me and everyone else. So we're all in the same boat. Man who understands his supposed opposition ceases to have an opposition. Right. So we have a task to fulfill together. We're not at opposed perspective.
You have players, you have coaches, and you have owners. And as you progress in age and experience, there's just a natural progression of hierarchy. Okay. And so for you to go and challenge these low-level police officers, probably some of them are probably not even 25 years old.
I'm not challenging anyone. We did this yesterday, and you didn't take the new information.
Who are they going to listen to?
They're challenging me. They're challenging me for traveling freely and upholding the law. I'm not challenging them. I'm not going around looking for them.
They're offering opportunity.
They're going to consider you hostile.
Here, if I may.
What happened with the castrated? What happened with O'Shea?
Here, DeFreak, please. Paul, I understand what you're saying. They in a way they are attacking by creating the change, by creating the relationship, by creating that moment. However, it's our belief in attacks and defenses that does keep us separate. And no offense, Paul, sometimes you get a little combative with your energy and words and may not even realize it sometimes, but I've seen you go both ways. I've seen you be real smooth and calm, real smooth and connecting. And then I've seen you be kind of strong.
Yeah, I think everybody does that from time to time. And I think the test of time is what's the set and setting and venue. So typically when we're in a certain set, setting, and venue, I'm able to control myself and present myself as honorably as possible most of the time. When we get into a different set, setting, and venue, I tend to let it fly a little bit more freely. It's kind of like we're at the bar on the panel, right? It's not necessarily a professional venue. It's not necessarily a courtroom venue. It's not a church or a courtroom demeanor per se. So I think we're all, if we're going to say guilty of that at times on these panels, we probably don't always approach things in the most calm and peaceful and equitable and loving, caring way. If that's the, test of virtue.
Well, yeah, you're right. There's a time and a place, and there's, the way you react in different situations. When you're running your show, your panel, you've got to be a certain way. And when you're when you're able to chill and just, objectively take things in, it's definitely a different setting. So that's why I kind of, jumped up here because, I just think it's a bad idea. And I think that what I'm afraid of is the waste of opportunity and progress.
Right. There's a teachable moment happening right now. And instead we're rather quickly and predictably circling back on a character judgment of me, while dozens of people in the chat are doing nothing but trying to find every little thing wrong about me.
Paul, I know.
And where I'm not the best that I could be. So every time here, the conversation shifts from us co-creating and talking about the dynamic and solutions to Paulie Boys on trial.
Well,
so it almost makes it such that I don't really wish to. I'll see you later, Jack. Okay.
All right. I'm sorry.
I don't wish to come here and constantly deal with the same dynamic day after day.
Paul, we can move
subject everyone to the same thing on your panel.
Would you yield for a moment? That's all I was asking you to do too, Paul. Come on, guys. Look, I don't see people attacking you any more than what I face every single day in this same panel, dude.
I'm not victiming, Jack. I'm just saying I just did a 3.5, 4-hour broadcast, and I really just came over here to be a part of what you're doing. I really don't need to play these games with folks in chat or on panel, especially if you're going to be one of them.
Hello. If you would actually just yield, you don't have to engage with the chat. You don't even have to engage.
Again, it's just telling that you're choosing to.
You can allow me to take over, dude. This is what I mean, Paul. The time we spend with you fighting for control is time wasted from our cooperation. Do you get it?
No, I don't completely. No, I don't, because the freak is cycling and spinning on a narrative we've already put to bed 3 times.
He's not here now.
Okay. And you have dozens of folks in the chat who just can't let me talk or be part of this without heaping condemnation onto me.
I don't control everybody else. I control me. And I ask you to control you. And I'm taking a chance. Sophia, I think this is a safe bet, right?
Hello, it's me. How are y'all doing?
It is. You've been very patient in the back, and I didn't mean to leave you back there so long, but that's actually what I've been trying to interrupt Paul and to freak for.
That's okay.
Was to double check and see that you were here. So
yeah,
here.
I actually hope Paul is still here because I had wanted to let him know something. And I went on OTWs briefly this morning, just to share this for people who don't know. I found a while back, I found the Missing Link interview that Paul did, and I've been listening to it in bits and pieces here and there. I haven't got to get all the way through it yet. But I've been listening to it as I'm doing other chores or what have you, my work, etc. And I told OTW and his audience this morning that it is one of the most amazing interviews that I've ever heard, because Paul is speaking from start to finish, speaking on his life, what he went through, how he arrived at what he understands rights and freedoms to be. I've been very impressed. I could resonate with what he was saying. I know Paul does not claim to be a Christian, and I'm not going to go there other than to say he did reference Christ briefly while he was talking about how he arrived at his conclusions on how the world is messed up and how things really should be as far as rights and freedoms, and how we connect to the creator, the creational force, to become better people, to make the world a better place. And I came here to give props to Paul for having been able to finally hear that interview. And I think it was from in the year 2022 when Jesse Hall interviewed him on The Missing Link. And I just, bravo, it was great. And if all of Paul's broadcasts were like that, although Paul's funny sometimes, and he goes off the beaten path sometimes, he's entertaining to listen to, but his core value messages that I have heard so far, and like I said, it's a long interview. I think it's 3 hours long. I'm about halfway through it. And I just appreciate it, because I know he takes some heat sometimes because of his personality at times. And, we just kind of sometimes need to come back to center, remember who we really are, not worry about the criticisms, not worry. And I got a lot of criticism this morning just for having tried to share that on OTW. Snafu came up and basically bit my head off, so I left. And I had work to do anyway. I wasn't going to stay on there long. Had I had time, I might have stayed on there and gone back and forth with him.
Thank you, Sophia.
Thanks. I just wanted, that's all I wanted to share. We don't need to fight. Like Paul says, we are all part of the same God. We're all God's children. We're all part of the
Jack is losing patience, man.
And we have to reconcile that.
He's like,
and for some people,
get on
to
with
be
it, man.
through not religion.
This is terrible.
People have me pegged as a religionist and a holier than thou, and I'm not.
Yeah.
Can we get back to Jack?
Well,
Lou,
I thought it would
caught
be a
onto
great
it.
opportunity. Thank you, Sophia. What you offer, that was in my opinion, the right thing for the moment, and I hope Paul was able to receive. When we get frustrated, when we get upset with each other, sometimes being reminded how good we are, it'll help us get beyond it. And I agree with what you said, Sophia. I think it was that interview. I think I learned of Paul through Jesse. And looked him up because of what I saw and what I felt. I felt the what he was offering. I felt the truth in it. And actually, long ago, even on that darn Lauren de Laguna thing, I mean,
nothing more.
I've gone back and forth on how I talked about Paul being good, but Paul's an amazing guy. I think we all know that. Browns boy,
what's up, y'all?
Not interested in you today.
Hey.
For the record, I think Paul's great
you
too.
can't lose something that you don't have.
All right, can we just stop doing this? This is just so draining. I don't want to be idol worshipped, and I don't want to be the devil. We have it all within us. There's God in you, there's the devil in you, just like there is in me.
Okay.
Stop looking for each in me. Look for it in you, please.
I have zero charisma.
This is so draining. I can never just be a regular person anymore on here and have conversations without this fucking game happening.
I'm here to help. Stop complaining, please. I agree. Let's take it off of Paul, because also what Sophia was offering is the way to walk with love, right? We don't have to be so rough on each other and so quick to condemn and beat each other up. The way of life, sincerely, the way we all want to be is
AOTW.
Yeah,
every one of us has.
It sounds like Jack is an expert with guitars. What do you think?
Oh yeah, he knows a lot about guitars. I could tell.
That's all I can surmise out of this situation. He is the master.
He might even be at your level. He might even be at your level.
I don't know about that, man. Now you're going into a gray area. Nobody can be as good as me when it comes to guitars. Come on now, you're fucking up the. You're
I don't
fucking
know,
up
man.
the bit.
I mean, Jack is competition. You're gonna have to you're gonna have to check into that, man.
I don't see competition when I see Jack. I see incompetence.
Incompetence?
No, just incompetence.
Oh, I thought we were like
That's it.
inventing a new word here.
Nope. We don't need to go into our imagination. The word is already established, and the
what do you
word is
mean? I mean,
manifest with Jack.
Wait. A healthy imagination is a necessary ingredient for creativity, Nubs.
I'm the fucking guitar expert, am I not? All right.
Right.
Enough said.
Okay.
I'm losing patience that I never had.
So, if you're a guitar expert, which guitarist said that quote? From which guitarist, that's a quote.
Well,
from a
obviously me. Obviously me. Whoever claimed to have said it copied it from me. Duh.
Right. Well, we'll say Steve Vai copied it off you. Okay.
Of course. It's
Right.
not like I wasn't born till after the quote was said.
Interesting.
I'm that good. I'm much like Jack when it comes to like Jack when it comes to talking about, personal accountability and self-respect and, honor, integrity, those kind of things. You laugh. I'm serious.
Oh, you see, no, but he's repeating what you said. Responsibility. It's an important factor. That's it. That's you, Jack.
That's you.
Opportunity within ourselves.
It's within ourselves. Okay.
Duh.
It's within us. You got to listen to the Jack, right? Listen to the Jack.
To walk with love.
You got to walk with love. You get it?
Yes.
It's the inner journey that you have to walk with love. Look at my finger. Okay.
Don't you get it?
Oh man, that look at my finger thing is gonna stick to me like glue for a while, man. It was so fucking funny. It was just terrible funny. It was good.
And I tell you, I've been practicing in it. At first, you may feel like a fool. You may feel stupid. You may feel like, this ain't gonna work out. But
well, that sounds like his first sexual interaction.
That's mean. Why you gotta be so mean?
It's like I get inspired sometimes by what he says. It's just
well, it just shows you're listening.
Okay, hold on a second. I gotta have him repeat that.
Never just be a regular person anymore on here and have conversations without this fucking game happening.
I'm here to help. Stop complaining, please. I agree.
Please.
Let's take it off of Paul, because also what Sophia was offering is the way to walk with love, right? We don't have to be so rough on each other and so quick to condemn and beat each other up. The way of life, sincerely.
The way of love, brothers and sisters. In all sincerity, without accountability.
Every one
It's
of us
about
has
love.
that responsibility and opportunity within ourselves to walk with love.
You got to walk with love.
And I tell you, I've been practicing in it. At first, you may feel like a fool. You may feel stupid. You may feel like
That's only when you walk like
this
Jack
ain't
that
gonna
you feel
work
that
out.
way.
But
Yeah, or he might be talking about the first time he masturbated. It's either his first interaction with another woman or first time he's like, "Oh, this isn't gonna work out." I don't know. Maybe it's like,
what's this?
why is it so big? It's like,
Is this what's making the skid marks in my pants?
oh, ew.
Yeah, just went there.
Ugh.
feels good.
Divine timing.
Now
Divine
I'm sure that
timing.
he was talking about that first sex.
That is divine timing.
Dude, I've been having these crazy synchronicities with videos lately where they're just the timing is just really on. It's like we're connected, Nubs. We are connected. Paul said it more than once. We are connected to something, and we're all connected to it, right? Even
Or you
when
just can't make this shit up.
Well, right. We couldn't have come up with that, even if we wanted to, right?
I don't pay attention enough to be able to do
I have
that.
so much love, Jack, that I put like 4 options on the table for unslavia to consider, and not one slave could put one thing on the table, Jack.
Well, but is that a complaint? Or
No,
is that...
I'm just saying it's.
He needs to get
I
out
don't know
of
what
his
it's saying.
disagreement.
It's just lame. Like, come on.
Hey, Jack, can I ask the freak a couple of questions? Is my mic okay?
No, it's terrible.
No, it's staticky, but what is it?
Okay, sorry, I'll fix it.
Here, keep going. Go ahead.
Thank
keep
you.
Going. I'll play with it.
I just wanted to know, maybe the freak can help me figure out who I should vote for. I mean, we're gonna have Trudeau again here in Canada. I'm not super smart. I'm just a dumb wop, and I'm a Canadian, so I don't know a lot. But just let me just get through it first.
Lou, no, it's not a
No,
helpful.
it's okay. No, it's okay. I've earned this, Jack. If he wants to be a greasy wop, whatever he said, I don't know.
I don't want discuss opinions.
I just want to
about
understand.
Candidates.
I'm part Italian, by the way, so.
I just want to understand where his mindset is. Might help me, right?
Why do you think that?
It's going to help Lou.
I mean, I don't know, right? I'm just trying to learn from people,
Lou,
right?
Fuck, he's being a
hold
troll.
On, please, I wanted to. If you're going to speak up, you're going to put yourself in the center of attention, and in the center of attention, I want to offer you some helpful correction. Okay. You ask a lot of questions without really intentionally wanting to know. You ask questions because you think it makes you look smarter. It makes you sound like you're paying attention. It makes the appearance that you care. But I've experienced this, Lou, and that's why I interrupted this. I don't really care about.
Okay, what about if I just keep it on the level and just ask him a couple of simple questions, because I understand that you, DeFreak, believe in the voting system, that it could get us to a better place, and I just wanted to know what brings you to that belief and what makes you think we need to get to a better place.
Lou, why are you asking him? Why are you asking him, and how do you feel it helps with the topic of walk with love?
Well, I don't know. I didn't know that was a topic. I just came in because I heard you were on.
Yep. Okay. So, Lou, this is what I've been suggesting. I'm going to go ahead and mute you for a bit. Because what I've been offering you to consider, Lou, is that you actually don't pay attention as well as you think you do. I know that you've not been listening to me as well as, well, I know we haven't communicated properly, but along those lines, please, Ms. Scarlett.
Can I answer the...
You want to answer his question? After?
Yeah, I want to answer the question. The answer is yes, I think Donald Trump should be the president of Canada, and forget about the wall, build the temple.
DeFreak, you're not listening to me either, are you?
The president of Canada? What? Is that what he said?
Actually, I don't know. I don't even know any Canadian politicians except Trudeau. So, like, his questions I would be like, I don't know.
Well, our conservative guy is called Polyev. He's supposed to be the new savior of Canada, and I just want, should I vote conservative? Should I vote liberal? Because Trudeau right now is the liberal government, and we've been in a situation where things are not good right now. We're paying like insane amounts of money for gas, taxes, everything else.
Yeah, Lou. So why would you?
Should I vote for a
Lou,
conservative?
Lou, please, DeFreak, I don't want to continue this topic because this is enabling. Lou, what you're doing, sincerely, look at you. You're acting as an agent of chaos, creating disruptions from my intention, which I just advised you of because you weren't paying attention before.
Come on and cop to it, Lou. You're acting like a trolley fat slave.
Then move it along.
You're trying
Jack.
to troll. You know you're not going to vote. You know voting's bad, and you're trying to bait everyone into an agent of chaos interaction. You're doing it.
Thank you, Paul, and
But
thank you,
doesn't
Scarlett. You're
doesn't
right.
chaos
Try and move it on.
isn't chaos sometimes
Look up the definition.
Thank you.
Just
I
move it along.
interrupt. What was that, Miss Scarlett?
You can just move it along. Just pick something else to talk about.
I do.
So, Miss Starlet, can you like talk to me about me or with me, since you're always saying things about me in chat now that we're here?
Sure. Are you sure you want to talk about you? Because you seem like you don't really want the conversation to be on you.
No, if it's genuine and authentic and based in truth and facts, absolutely. If it's an appeal to emotion and false authority, it's nonsense.
Okay, so when you say things like, I'm leaving if this is happening and I don't like this happening and it always happens when I come to your channel, that's like not really taking accountability.
Accountability for what exactly?
For whatever criticisms that you were under that you didn't like being under.
There was no criticisms. I was having a great conversation with Jack Talcott. Other folks started mixing in, and then the chat just started going down lists of things that are bad about me and all the things I always do. And why can't we come up on panel then and come to a resolution ever? Does this have to continue on forever? Are you guys really this chaotic and like
that might
disturbed?
That might be what she's asking, though. What she's pointing out, Paul. You asked, why can't we ever create resolve? Move past it.
Well, I'm talking to her. Does it require an intercessor? Can I just speak with her or anyone ever for like even 30 seconds?
Yep, let's get into it. So what was the question? I just told you what I saw happening. That's what I saw happening.
So I was talking to Jack Talcott and you started immediately in the chat condemning me and speaking bad about me, but not coming up here to address whatever your issue is with me.
Did I start immediately in the chat condemning you? I think I had an opinion on what you were saying specifically.
Which was?
I don't even remember. Do you want to go back to the chat and look maybe?
I guess we could.
I mean, I guess I don't really remember what exactly it was, but can you remember the comment that was made?
Let's see. It's kind of counterintuitive, huh, Jack, on a live broadcast to now go through the record because she acts like she doesn't know what I'm talking about. And it has to be told her directly.
I don't know which comment you're talking about. You asked for something specific. I can't give you a specific answer. I don't know exactly what you were talking about. So the times I've listened to you, which have been only a handful, I'll admit, you seem to have a mentality of you're going to tell people the truth based on your opinion, really, is what the truth is.
Well, it's my experience, yeah.
Right. So it's not really the truth. It's like your truth. And a lot of times it's cutting people down or putting people in their place. And I just feel like that's not really somebody that's healed. That's somebody that is using any excuse to still be
so
an
you
asshole.
do remember what you said, because this was the memory I had of the comment was it's always something negative with me.
Oh, is that what I said?
Something along those lines, yeah. So
okay.
what you're saying now aligns pretty much with...
Well, she also said, I can't believe anyone would see Paul as hostile.
Right, she's a double-minded person because in one sentiment she's saying
No, that was sarcasm. No, that was sarcasm.
That was sarcasm, right. So more disingenuous sarcasm, right? More negativity while she's claiming I'm being negative.
Well, Paul...
I mean, I felt like you were being negative. That's why
Yeah, you're being negative while claiming I'm being negative while talking to Jack Talcott about something not negative. Do you see the hypocrisy in the loop?
It's like a enigma wrapped in a riddle. It's so crazy.
It's really not that crazy. You could have just surrendered to the moment and allowed me and Jack to have a conversation and not project yesterday's news onto today's
why
interaction.
Are you having a conversation on YouTube if you don't want people to comment on it? I mean, for God's sakes.
Again, I'm not saying I'm not open to the platform and what it brings. Are you open to accountability the same way you want to bring false accountability to me?
What am I not being accountable for?
Can I please?
I'm not upset.
I know.
What am I not being accountable for?
I know you're not. I respect and I appreciate both of you, to be honest. Okay. But
I'm kind of stuck in the middle of his face.
In this
right?
case,
let me
Paul,
fix that.
I'm leaning with Miss Scarlett that you do have patterns of negativity, that you present things that exaggerated, that there's rooms for improvement here. And Sometimes truth is insulting, but it doesn't mean that the person offering it is wrong. So if I misunderstood,
again, it's just strange how the chat plays this power game, and like you just sit there and seem to go along with it.
Paul,
like I'm playing a victim right now by asking folks.
Yeah, you were.
I'm playing the victim by asking folks to substantiate what their issue is with me, so we can come to a resolve. That's playing the victim.
No,
that's not facilitating.
I'm leaving if this is happening. I'm leaving the channel. This always happens to me whenever I come on.
That's my appeal to Jack's good sense and good nature and good reason, presuming he has any. That why would he not want to facilitate resolution here when he's supposedly a life coach? It's a great opportunity.
Denying your part, Paul. You're denying the opportunity for resolve, dude.
By offering an opportunity to resolve and address issues, I'm denying an opportunity to resolve. Okay.
Oh, by playing the victim, saying I've got.
I'm not saying I'm victimized. I've had no loss, injury, or harm done to me.
You just said you did that to call out to me. Sorry to interrupt, Miss Scarlett. Please.
It's okay. It's okay.
I was asking you to rise to the occasion, an opportunity, and be the life coach facilitator you are. I thought that's what we're doing here.
So I'm not saying that you are a victim, or that you anything outside of what I just saw. That's what my opinion was based on. I wasn't like saying in your life, in your day-to-day life, whatever, like however you read it. That's not what I was saying. I was saying that the comments that you were making and the way that you were backing out of what was being said, by saying this always happens to me every single time, I'm leaving if this is happening, that is a victim mentality.
No, it's not. It's pointing out a dynamic that's gone on here for a year and a half, that I can't even come here and share who and what I am and my experience and have a normal conversation without it becoming this. Because there's so many folks in chat with grievances, and then Jack gets pulled away from the conversation into the emotional appeal of the grievances, and he starts highlighting comments and taking it away from a positive experience into a negative one.
You're describing yourself.
Okay.
Right now,
okay.
dude.
So that's you pretty much. You're giving me that's you, where you have no accountability while claiming I have none.
Paul, remember the words. In every accusation, in every criticism, it's self-criticism.
Pause that for a second.
Okay?
Right.
You guys don't
You're
see
the
what's
one who's
going on.
moved.
Hey, if you guys don't see what's going on, it's clear that Paul needs to get out of his disagreements. He is completely disagreeing with Jack, and it's ruining the show. When you don't, I mean, seriously, we need to agree with Jack if we're going to continue this show.
Are you complying?
Which means I'm complying with the entertainment that Jack is clearly bringing. I mean, he is the master of all that is, life coach and all.
The God of all life coaches, right?
I will accept that.
Right.
Maybe the Jesus of all life coach. I'll give it the Jesus of all coaches.
Or you could say demigod of all coaches.
No, much like the Jesus character, just an ink blot and worth very little, if anything at all.
So look at his face.
End story. Paul, get out of your disagreements. You're dealing with a demigod or a demon god, whatever it works out to be. And that's just it. Get out of your disagreements. If you're not in agreement, Jack, just don't go up there. It's not safe.
Now, I don't know what to think about what you just said. I'm going to have to think about it.
Moved to point these out, to expose these.
No, you were field moved to highlight the comments and take away from our conversation into a negative chat projection.
I know what you were talking about, but I'm pointing out your reaction,
disagreements,
highlighting
Paul.
what you chose to find offense with, what you chose to find as a problem.
That's you.
So that's okay when you do that, but not okay when I do it?
Paul, that's not what I said. See, you're
absolutely
there seems
not.
to be a double and triple standard going on here.
No,
So
Paul,
quadruple standard at least.
Wait, I want to apologize because admittedly, I came into the conversation late and I made a judgment based off of what little I heard. And so I might not have known exactly what was being said or how exactly.
Right. That's the truth of the situation is you got a lot of folks with you got a lot of folks with grievances and resentment in their emotions who are Can I just finish? Because you're reacting right now. You're being reactive. You're seeming a little insecure and reactive right now.
Paul,
get out of your disagreement,
including Jack at times, who are in their resentment and bitterness and feelings.
All right, I can't continue with this bit. It's making me feel disgusting. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry.
No, I agree. See, this is Paul projecting his bitterness.
I feel dirty. I feel like I was molested on my own accord.
I mean, to carry bitterness about you is pretty crazy. I don't even know you. I don't think about
Again, look at the comments and the sarcasm and the hostility. It projects bitterness.
I don't feel like that's hostile.
Why are you muting me and throwing me out?
Paul, because you're not.
This is every time with you.
Then
it's
leave.
every time, unceasing.
Then leave. Paul, it's every time because you behave the same way every time. You can adapt yourself to what is happening now. You've been asked repeatedly to disengage, to chill out. We can have a conversation peacefully in the
You're not
moment.
allowing me to have a conversation with the woman. You keep interjecting.
I'm not allowing.
You keep ganging up and interjecting.
Paul, you're so
no, you're in a falsely empowered group dynamic. And I'm not disempowered. I'm the one here with myself speaking my experience.
You're showing yourself like a fucking.
You're not allowing me to have an interaction.
You're behaving like a.
It's no wonder he acts like this. If you had to look in the mirror and see this kind of behavior every day, you'd act more like this too.
Paul,
I take pity on the foolish man.
Wrong, dude. And Miss Scarlett, she offered you honest observations. She just here explained herself, and you.
What the fuck?
You're still throwing some fucking fit like a little child, Paul. Well, I don't want to be pointing out what is disrespectful about you. I'd much rather be highlighting your ability to cooperate and your ability to communicate effectively with those you're around, Paul.
Well, I want Paul.
Okay, so I didn't just disagree. I didn't just disagree with anything she said. You just attached yourself to her and created a false narrative, falsely empowered, codependent that you are.
Is that true, or is
I
that
didn't just disagree with what she just said.
That true, or is
why
that
are you finding disagreements when there are none?
Oh, I love that one.
Asking you for clarification, Paul.
The clarification is I was having a back and forth with her, and you can't help yourself but to interject with your emotional appeal and defense mechanisms.
Okay, well, Paul, do you believe you were offering a polite back and forth or a real?
Is she complaining, or are you complaining for her?
I'm asking you, Paul.
I think that we were having a fairly equitable exchange, being as how we came into this. We were coming to some place of resolution, and once again, you won't allow it. You make peaceful resolution impossible, so you make violence and revolution inevitable.
I mean, violence is.
You're the opposite of ending wars and legal secrets, because you're constantly living a lie and a secret, and you're constantly creating more discord and discontent and not allowing for resolution.
Okay, are we going to get to resolution, or are we going to keep insulting each other?
It's not insulting.
It is insulting. That's insulting.
Take it as insulting, but we're speaking on what our experience is. If you're insulted by it, you're probably triggered by the truth you don't want to.
I muted you.
Okay,
Hold on,
okay.
please, I muted. Paul, because what I wanted to point out is his behavior is insulting. Your behavior is insulting.
No,
Paul.
I think the words that he's using is insulting.
I have to bring down the quality, guys, because my internet's.
Is insulting.
Are you talking to me?
No, I'm talking.
How can one's behavior be insulting if they do not reflect upon it for their own?
And constantly be the last word on everything.
Hear how he's
Even though
describing
he's wrong
himself?
the majority of the time. Ask his wife and child and coworkers. They'll tell you.
Okay, so that's what I mean by insulting. That's what I mean by
truth.
that's the truth as you know it.
That's the truth as he's put it forth.
Nope,
I don't think you put it forth like that.
memory, Paul. That's your false narrative that you've been looping and fighting to prove.
I have
But
my
your
own
selective
experience with
memory,
you. It
you're
correlates with the one
projecting.
you put.
Man.
Forth about them.
Yeah,
It's one
that's
for
you.
one. It makes
So, Paul, I'm sorry I interrupted. Back to the topic that was your
You
behavior
know,
is
that is an
insulting.
excellent
Right? What you're
argument
offering
for
is insulting,
anything. If you really think about it, just that's you.
Paul.
I thought his words were insulting, not the behavior.
His word.
It's
His
bound
word.
to
I'm
win.
sorry. Sorry, Miss Scarlett. Your words were
right,
insulting.
and that's a choice to perceive my words that I'm speaking truthfully as insulting. That's
So
a
what do the
choice.
facts show?
But,
Sorry.
Jack,
God.
shut
It's
up.
not
I'm
a
gonna get
fact.
out.
That's
I'm done.
feelings. You can't even control yourself. He's on his own broadcast and can't even control himself and allow the conversation to go where it needs to go.
So I think that when somebody tells you the way that your words are making them feel, like you saying that, that's perception and that's you feeling, and like that's like just talking out of actually being kind to other people.
Again, I'm not saying that I'm not always the most kind and polite person. When did we get more import on the idea of kind and polite rather than authentic and true?
Well, what's
again, that
authentic?
might
Why do
be-
you have to be mean to be authentic and true?
I'm not perceiving myself as directly being mean by just being unwavering in what I see as true. You're perceiving that like a child as meanness because I'm being true and you don't like what's being said.
No, I'm not worried about like the way that you talk around like every single thing that somebody says. You like talk completely around it without actually addressing your behavior in the situation.
Again, there's no behavior. I'm speaking truth of my experience and you're taking offense to it.
Wasn't she just up here complimenting him?
Wasn't no, not same woman.
No,
I don't like what I'm saying.
I'm saying it's not
Either
nice.
rebut what I'm saying and show where
Oh,
it's
it's not
true, or
nice.
accept
Nice.
it's true and mitigate your reactions and feelings to the truth.
By that same logic,
up
what
with my
she's doing
internet?
is not
I'm
nice.
saying that it's not true.
That's emotional intelligence if you didn't know. And most
No,
folks
what
online
you're
are
exhibiting
lacking in
is
it.
zero emotional intelligence, actually.
No, I'm exhibiting zero emotional appeal.
Yes.
I'm not appealing to you and everyone else's bizarre attachment style where you
emotional-
make an enemy out of the truth and truth tellers.
Emotional
That's a
intelligence
broken
is being
Pause,
able
Paul.
to read people you're speaking to.
Yep.
I mean, that's basic emotional intelligence. You can read the people you're speaking to. Like
Yep.
you don't just say, well, that's just the truth and
I'm telling
whatever.
you I can read you and you won't accept it. You think it's my ego and arrogance.
Paul.
No, I then read me.
Chill out.
You're
Give it to me.
hypersensitive and you're overly emotional and reactive to truth that you don't like. Most people are until they learn to master their thoughts, emotions, actions, and inactions.
Hold on. Hold on.
So who's
Hold
who's
on.
You
truth?
can't even help yourself, Tal.
Whose truth are we dealing with? I don't know
Here.
whose truth we're talking about.
He was offering his opinions of you, his analysis
I mean,
of
he
you.
was right
and
about some of it.
really, I wanted to offer an experience, an observation of what we've been experiencing on this stream. He's absolutely describing his own emotional fragile state. Miss
I
Scarlett,
get
thank you. Thank you for your honesty and your strength and compassion. Thank you.
You're
Here, I'm gonna.
gaslighting her and manipulating her to try to agree with you.
Absolutely.
You can't gaslight me or manipulate me.
I'm
This
not
is not
saying
possible.
you can.
Absolutely.
I'm
That's
not demeaning
exactly
your
what he did.
intelligence and
He
experience. I
dispelled
don't
her
know
own
you. I'm getting to
experience
know
that
you.
said some of
I'm
it was
saying what
true.
his common theme and what he does is in his ways and behavior. You just said you had your own mind and your own opinion, and he just tried to get you away from that by appealing to your emotions again.
Well, I mean, I don't disagree
Can
with
you
him. I
shut the
do think
fuck
that you're
up,
overly
please?
emotional.
Who,
Like
Nubs?
the whole chat is telling Nubs, shut the fuck up, and he's talking over everything, and we can't hear me or him. How long we all been doing this? And now he just
fucking-
leaves. Right? Now he's gonna think I'm being an asshole and a dick, right? Because half the chat's telling him for the last 20 minutes, shut the fuck up and stop talking over the clip. We can't hear the clip and we can't hear you. It's only been a year and a half of this.
God damn it, Nubs.
And I think that you're reactive.
I'm responding. I'm not reacting, and I'm not talking from my feelings and what I don't want to be true. I'm describing what my experience is, and I'm not hearing anybody contend anything differently. They're just posing their perspective back to me.
So how do we gauge what the truth is? Like through our feelings and
With the
experiences?
results of our life and what the patterns and behavior shows and the record. See, he says no because he doesn't want to be able to be held accountable by the facts in the record.
Hey, Paul,
I want to
don't
be
speak
held.
for me. Hey, Paul, don't speak for me. He wants, no, that's a false representation of me. What I was shaking my head about when you offered results, Paul, is see, you have the materialist mindset. You claimed.
Yeah, I know what's happening right now. It's raining outside, and when it rains,
To
it
walk
got
with the
shitty
Christ in
internet.
mind, yet you are a very selfish
You
and
have
bitter
internet that doesn't work in
man.
the rain.
Yeah, I live in a
Step out for what-
225-year-old house, man. There's,
Positive pleb. Where now I'm doing it. I'm pulling a nubs now.
hold on a sec. All right, it's paused. Yeah, I live in a 225-year-old house.
Is my
So-
fucking this idiot turned my fucking mic down and I kept it that way? Yeah, fucking slave cop.
Oh.
I'm the biggest fool ever for continuing to go over there. And
Oh,
entertain
that's
the
why
sickness and
your
insanity.
volume went down. And I was like trying to. I thought it was on my end, and I was like, "Why is he? Why can't we hear him?"
Yeah, like as I'm laying out the critical part of Talcott's predatory, deceptive, manipulative behavior, Nubs just talks all over it, just steps all over it.
Maybe I
don't
should
get
just
it.
rewind. I think I'm gonna rewind. Right. Okay.
Did you see? Do you see how insidious he is and manipulative? That he will try to take over and tell that woman what her experience is, even if she's agreeing with me.
Yeah, even when you're actually diffusing the situation too with her, it's like as if he's trying to put oil on the fire and trying to, get that flame going for absolutely no reason whatsoever. This is what I
He
was
wants
perceiving.
his chat and the group over there to hate me and to project onto me everything that he does onto me. That's the
Right.
falsely empowered codependent shit. He doesn't want resolution and remedy. He wants a group of falsely empowered codependents that will repeat whatever he says and project it onto his enemies. He's a low-life skunk, and he's not going to get anywhere in this life living the way he is. So I look forward to his ass getting put out of that house soon. He needs it.
In other words, he's trying to force the influential power that he perceives that you can generate naturally, and he's trying to like force that, which is not something that you can force. It's something that's given by God. It's like, and you obviously, Jack, have not been given this gift.
They ask why I go over there. It's a multifaceted idea. I actually do care about Jack. I pity him in his suffering. I'd like to be a source of facilitation for his suffering to be resolved, though I doubt it's going to happen at this point. I'm also fascinated with him and his projection deceptions. I can't get enough of it. I'm a self-flagellating, masochistic, sadistic freak online at this point. I can't at times, I can't help myself but to indulge in the perception, deception, and the inversion mirror therapy that is Jack Talcott. I find it to be so fascinating and an amazing just experience simulation to put myself into, to watch how he weaves the web and projects and inverts and mirrors and does the codependency. It's a psychologist, sociologist wet dream. Jack Talcott.
My perspective on this is that he's a necessary I don't want to say evil, but he's a necessary character, I believe, in the all-out picture. And the reason I say that is because he's kind of like the example not to follow. You know what I'm saying? He's like in our lives, if you end up bringing yourself up because your parents aren't around to raise you or whatever, you end up choosing different personalities, different individuals in your entourage where you identify with that, and this is like what helps you identify, create an identity for yourself growing up, because their parents aren't present. So I think that maybe there's an issue at that level, right?
Can
Concerning
you
Jack.
imagine the irony of somebody who takes Brian O'Shea's picture like that, calls himself Skits O'Shea, and then makes a judgment on me doing foolishness and folly willfully? Fascinating. What would you be watching right now, dumbass, if I didn't engage in my foolishness and folly last night? Because another aspect of why I do what I do is to give the audience something different than the regular insanity, to kind of mix things up, you know, change up the content a little bit. Although while changing up the content, it's ironically or interestingly the same content we've been doing for a year and a half over there. Just it's the same thing, a little bit different. So what exactly were you going to do today or watch today if I didn't do my foolishness and folly while you do foolishness and folly? Unwillingly, apparently. I willingly do it for many different reasons. You unwillingly do it and then make judgments on me. I love that game. See, do you see why I do what I do? Because you just showed it right there. I'm fascinated with this game of consciousness and awareness and how we're all oneself on the highest level, and on the lowest level, just invert and mirror back to each other various principles. Can't get enough of it. I'm addicted.
Man.
Emotional intelligence, if you didn't know.
See, yeah, okay, that's it.
So what you're exhibiting is zero emotional intelligence, actually.
No, I'm exhibiting zero emotional appeal.
Yes.
I'm not appealing to you and everyone else's bizarre attachment style where you make an enemy out of the truth and truth tellers.
Emotional intelligence is being able to read people you're speaking to.
Yep.
I mean, that's basic emotional intelligence. You can read the people you're speaking to. Like, you don't just say, well, that's just the truth and
I'm telling
whatever.
you I can read you and you won't accept it. You think it's my ego and arrogance.
No, I then read me.
You're hypersensitive and you're overly emotional and reactive to truth that you don't like. Most people are until they learn to master their thoughts, emotions, actions, and inactions.
Hold on.
So who's
You can't even help yourself, Tal.
Whose truth are we dealing with? I don't know whose truth we're talking about.
He was offering his opinions of you, his analysis of you.
I mean, he was right about some of it.
Really? I wanted to offer an experience, it
wasn't an observation.
Paulie Boy was
it was
right
an opposition.
Paulie Boy's right and intuitive and showing emotional intelligence, the opposite of the claim. Well, really? Because I want to offer something different for you to experience.
He was going to say opposition.
101.
Did you hear it in his voice? He's going to say opposition, and he said something else. Hold on a sec. He corrected himself on the spot.
He was offering his opinions of you, his analysis of you.
I mean, he was right about some of it.
Really? I wanted to offer an experience,
He says observation, but I'm pretty sure he wanted to say opposition.
Right. It's a Freudian slip. This is what the narcissist does. It Freudian slips all over the place and then has to correct its verbiage because it knows how it's looking in the moment and making calculations on the fly. He knows what he's doing. Really? I want to impose my own experience for you to repeat and then project onto him. He can't be right. He's not allowed to be right. I'm the one who's right. He's sick. This is why his woman and child and everyone have left him. He's a sick, manipulative, twisted scum. And the sad part is there's about 30 to 40 people over there live, and who knows how many after the fact, who've been taken in by his sickness. And in a way, I almost have to apologize by encouraging this freak. I had no idea what the level was. I didn't really do the analysis in depth, and I didn't have much to work with in the beginning, which is when I encouraged him to do this live broadcast. Had I had more experience with him, I never would have encouraged that. I thought that he was just a lazy hippie who needed to learn responsibility and accountability. I had no idea that by him showing up every day, he would embolden his false self and deceptive beingness, and that he would prey on people and find a falsely empowered codependent group to bolster himself and his false self. I had no idea that that was going to take place. So now you have a bunch of narcissistic victimhood consciousness folks who you heard her say she's another emulation of Talcott, a lesser degree. I haven't met anyone who's to the degree of Talcott. She just said, emotional intelligence is when you can read other people. But then in the next sentence, she said, I have no emotional intelligence because I won't speak to her the way she requires for her to take truth. That's narcissism and manipulation. You're trying to take power over me and the truth and get me to tell it either not at all or in a way supposedly you can accept it. If not, ignore the truth because it's mean.
Like taking shortcuts, but there are no shortcuts with the truth, man.
These are most of the women online who you wind up dating. They'll say, Paulie, we've read you and you're in a trauma space and don't know how to love and you're overly sexual. They'll try to tell me how to be a man and then take no accountability for their own thoughts, emotions, actions, lifestyle, and what they've produced or not, while telling me how to live because they're so empathic and intuitive. You're arrogant. You're egotistical, you're prideful, you're deceptive, and you're delusional. You folks are not special and unique. You're asylum cases at this point. You need therapy. Okay, so it's like amazingly presumptuous what these folks do, to presume to know and that no one else does, and then project onto you who and what you are while not accepting who and what they are in everyone else's experience. It's beyond fascinating.
I don't even believe that he's actually still around. Honestly, that's something that's
because this is what happens, bro. When you open a portal, you attract who and what you are, or people in need of who and what you are, right? So you basically have a whole bunch of folks who've been abused and abusive like him, and they're probably alone and have no one in their life, but it's always everyone else's fault, and they can't figure out it's because they keep projecting and rejecting. They keep presuming and assuming while not taking in information and not accepting a record and credibility and reputation.
Right. And
I believe syndrome.
I believe that if you do end up alone, it should be something that it should be a choice, because you're separating yourself from the world to find yourself with yourself, to learn more about yourself, but not like
hide. Myself. You know why I choose to be alone most of my life is because I'm usually, people are attracted to me who are like this. They want to suck off me. They want to use me. They want to ride my energetic wave. And then when they don't get what they want, they project onto me that I'm the worst guy ever and that I'm abusing them or not loving them the way that they need to be loved. It's sickness.
But
that's why most of my life I haven't dated, because I'm not going to be some fucking cucked out beta male who gets twisted up in his sense of self because some bitch is going to use emotional appeal and get me to feel like I'm not a man and I'm not a loving person because I won't appeal to their attachment style. It's sick and twisted.
Well, you see, that's the whole issue. It's that love factor, It's like, where has love ever really been a prominent factor in between men? It's always been something of respect, respect between men. It doesn't really correlate with love, because love is something that you give to your children. It's something that you should show, to your neighbor.
I'll show you some love right now, men, OTW.
I think it's more important respect than love, right?
Yeah, I'm going to show this guy a man's love right now, not a woman's love. Go to your mama for that. I'm daddy online. Can't go anywhere without this guy scolding. Hey, you're a loser, failure, most likely. You're probably broke. You probably have no options of anything to do right now. Yet you go around on these panels to each one all day, every day with alternate accounts and then talk about me. So come on up and talk to me. Let's see who and what you are. Come on down to The Slave is Right. It's our new show. The Slave is Right. What are the odds the slave is going to be right and Paulie's going to be wrong today? I love this game.
I'd
Come
like to
on
see
up
that.
and tell me how you're a fucking weak-ass loser failure, has nothing to do but go to multiple panels every day and make comments in a chat about me getting a bit impassioned about the sickness that I'm involved in the simulation. Sorry, I care.
Damn it, Paul.
I'm a very bad person. I get loud sometimes. I get abrasive. I get really real and truthful, and I care. I'm a really bad person.
You know what?
Yeah,
Those
but
are
you're
actually
mean.
those are actually the top characteristics of the reasons why I enjoy your presence. It's like the reasons why everybody hate you are the reasons why I actually fucking love you. You know what I mean? It's like you're the most
they don't
authentic
understand
guy.
exactly what Jennifer says to me yesterday, that I don't even look for her to compliment me or anything. I'm not interested in being praised or blamed. I'm interested in truth and accountability and the results. She goes, why don't any of these people realize what I've realized at some point, going past my triggers over just what is that isn't bad or wrong? Like, why can't they figure out that by dealing with you and dealing with themselves and controlling themselves, they're going to get an answer to pretty much all their fucking problems? I go, I don't know. They'd rather manipulate me or project onto me than solve their problems in their life, which emanate from this personality disorder they exhibit.
Right. I agree, because I've been myself in that process and have learned so much off of just the, participating and watching many broadcasts that you've had, and even on my own broadcast. And with all of these interactions with everybody, you get to understand what and who you are and what and who you do not want to be.
Yeah, you get to develop emotional control and intelligence. I could tell just by looking at Lewis and others who've come here for a while, they're probably at least 50 or 80% better at addressing issues and problems with themselves and their family and not getting emotional and reactive. That's all we're doing here. That's all that this practice is supposed to be about, because I guarantee the majority of you have constant problems in yourself, in your home, in your workplace, and in your family, because nobody can manage their thoughts, emotions, actions, and inactions. That's clear.
Because they mix them up. They think that what
the more you project onto it a feeling, the less you learn to manage your feelings and affairs, because you're too worried about being validated in how you felt. Doesn't matter. No one's asking. No one cares. Why do you care? Why do you care about every little feeling that rattles around inside of you and give it validity? It's so foolish.
Right. And there's another thing is, why in the world would you want to add words to those feelings? You know what? I mean, words are used to communicate ideas, not communicate feelings. Feelings are something that are meant to be felt, like with our senses.
Feelings are reactions or responses to the idea or the experience. And they need to be monitored and observed and directed and controlled, because if not, they'll take you down. I would know.
Right. They'll literally take you over, take control of you, and take control of your whole identity, everything you are. And it's like the Hulk. You guys, the analogy or the allegory of the Incredible Hulk is that emotion inside of you that takes over, and you're trapped in that box. Inside, your logic, your discernment, your awareness, it all disappears, and the only thing that's left is rage and emotional dysfunction, right?
Why is Hard Hat down there and not coming up? He's another bitch who can't address me or have a conversation. He's big for nothing. You're a coward. When I do Unslavia Festival, I should do it at Lou's property over there and invite you down, bitch boy. So you can not show up, and then if you do, cuck out to me because you know you can't face me or yourself or the truth that you live. So sick of you weak-ass bitch boy beta males online. You're poor, you're broke, you got nothing for family and networking community. Nobody wants to fuck with you. All your ex-bitches think you're a fucking coward clown, and you sit around with some animal in your feelers drinking and crying into your own beer every day. Get a fucking life. Get some mind, heart, and balls on you. Get a fucking personality that you can take into the fucking world and have yourself received as something a bit higher value than what you've been presenting. How about that, clown?
But you're the devil, Paul.
Yeah, this is a grown man who had a dream about me with horns and broke bad on me ever since. You're such a broken bitch. You don't even understand your subconscious mind. I'm your goat. I'm your devil. Because I expose all the truth you want to ignore, and it seems devilish that I would do such a mean, horrible thing like dredge up your subconscious mind, show you a mirror of who and what you are, and ask you to do and be better. You've been running and fighting from truth for so long, you think I'm a devil. Objectively, I'm your devil. Just like I'm your daddy. Just like I'm your goat, like the Mason tried to tell you. If you don't want to learn to ride the goat, you're going to get the horns. Get it?
I don't know. I don't want to presume too much, but I seem to have a feeling that a lot of these people are just extremely low IQ and have been downloaded or uploaded with information they believe is their own, and it's really not, and they just react to it day after day after day after day.
Yeah, they're not very bright people. You could tell that by their eye movements, by the way that they speak, the words they choose, the careers they work in. You could tell that they're not very creative and bright people. And like you said, they presume all their feelings and visions are some intuitive message. They're not. Many of them are uploaded from your abusive upbringing, and you've been projecting ever since, like a holographic mirror. So you need to go to therapy, many of you. You need to get into your own subconscious mind and reverse engineer it. You need to look at how you accept less for yourself in all areas and how you have low self-esteem, self-value, and self-worth. Stop projecting superiority complex on a man who's confident and faithful just because you have inferiority complex. See, you're tricking yourself out of your truest power and position, and you're trying to pull me down with you. And it's not going to happen. I'm just going to keep exposing you for who and what you all are and giving you an opportunity to change for you. Because I don't even care, nor do I need you here ultimately. I can't do this for you. I can't make you see the error in your ways. I can't make you want to change, nor would I. You have to see the error in your ways like we all do. If you want to ignore that to project onto me, I suspect your life's going to get worse.
Last night I woke up at around 3 or something in the morning, often just to take a piss, and I often just turn on the computer and listen to who's blabbing away, and it was like Flow State, Slow State, Joe Stool, all these people, and they're talking about the right to travel. And you look in someone like Slow State's eyes, and you could tell that deep down inside he knows that we have the right to move freely. Right?
No. Let me show you this, Lewis. It's very interesting that you mentioned this because I was on YouTube last night, and you know how these algorithm works. It always pops up what everyone else is doing, right? Even if you're not subscribed to these people, it cycles everyone else's shit to everyone else. So I saw your boy on here. Where's the video that he did? I didn't even listen to the video. I just put the mouse over the video to watch the video without listening, and it's amazing. Slow State. Did he take it down? The video of him in the car riding around with his beady, shifty eyes and his obvious crawling out of his skin persona. He hates himself. He's so uncomfortable with himself and having to be on camera.
Oh, yes.
Oh, did you see him doing the speed date with Lauren De Laguna and Grace Thorpe?
No, man. To be honest with you, I really don't even.
That was disgusting.
This kid is so predatory and twisted and deviant, just like Jack Talcott. He's just better at it, right? But it's the same persona and personality, and it comes out of the same abusive background, and neither of them are really completely aware of it. I think that Taylor is more aware of it. He's just thrown in with the idea that this is who and what he is, and he can't change it, so he's going to spend the rest of his life manipulating, bullshitting, grifting, and conning. And he's way better at it than Jack Talcott. I'll give him that. But yeah, there was some video here. He must have took it down. Oh no, there it is with him driving around. Yeah, go to Slow State. Slow State is live, right? He did a 15-minute video of him riding around. I didn't even listen to it, but I could imagine just by watching it that he had nothing to say. And he admits the reason he's now doing a new format is because he's struggling with views and viewers and contributions. So he needs a new format to try to bump up his subscribers. He admits he stole it from someone else. That's all there, right? It's like they transcribe and transpose who and what they are constantly. It's fascinating. They go, I'm only in this for views and money. I have a horrible personality and I know it. So I'm going to shift around bits and steal things from other people. Yeah, go to like make it big. Make the video big, and then he puts on the glasses too because he's a bit more self-aware than Jack Talcott. He knows he's creepy and shifty and disturbed, so he constantly puts glasses on whenever he can to hide his eyes up close. But is this the beginning of it?
Yeah.
There he goes. He can't see the screen, so he's forced to take them off, and he's annoyed by that.
Streaming.
No.
I'm on my way to a job.
Oh, man. You got to turn the volume off and just put it slow motion and just watch his face movements, his body movements, his eye movements, and just see how uncomfortable he is in his own skin, how much he hates himself and it just oozes out, how much he knows he's incompetent and incapable and a failure, and he's desperate to drum up something on here any way that he can.
And also
he's so uncomfortable that he knows he's going to have to fill time and has nothing of any value or importance to say.
And also how much he's terrified of you. Like very afraid of you because he sees that you're able to discern what he is and call it out. And
yeah, they keep a mile away from me in that broadcast I do and go everywhere else because they know I got the eye on them. I got their number.
Yeah,
And they don't want to be told it, and they don't want to be exposed in front of the audience. They'd rather set the narrative and project and dupe whoever else out there can't read.
They know what they are. This guy especially, he's such a fucking, just a rotten, horrible, fake kind of guy that would take anything from he'd take candy from a baby if he could and slap the baby while he left. He's just awful person.
Yeah, he also hasn't worked in months, and he's lying to the audience, pretending he's still working as an independent contractor. He'll just sit there and bullshit everybody to their face, even though we all had the experience. It's fascinating.
Let's be real. He's never worked. I remember the first time I saw Slow State, he came on camera walking through a construction site. And I could tell just by the way he walked through the construction site, this guy's never worked a day in his life. Just by the way he walked through it.
Yeah, just look at that look in his eye, man. Every so often he'll default, even when he looks regular. He's got this predatory, broken, twisted look in his eye. The eyes are the windows to the soul.
Yeah.
Right. He knows he has it. I know he's uncomfortable when he looks at himself, that he sees himself back and all the methamphetamine damage that he's done to his brain and his soul. And it's probably not going to come back. So he's got this shifty, twisted, beady-eyed look, and he's constantly darting his eyes all over. And you can tell he's really insecure and worried about what people are thinking and feeling about him. That's obvious.
Yeah, at some point I believe he said something to the effect that you're supposed to go to work to fuck off, meaning, waste time and pretend that you're working.
Yeah, he's an unproductive, lazy loser failure who's never left a middle school emotional intelligence. He's never developed beyond a middle school, high school emotional intelligence. It's evident by him coming on that one day and wearing a Ninja Turtles t-shirt. That'll tell you everything you need to know about a man in one moment. You could think I'm talking shit. I'm telling you, profiling. If you meet a man and he's wearing a Ninja Turtles t-shirt, a backward hat full of disgusting sweat, and 2 light blue glow-in-the-dark earrings, we know what we're dealing with. Little broken boy who's never grown up.
And they were
That's why they all find themselves together. Talcott, him, Cynthia, they resonate so well because they're broken little boys and girls who've never grown up and cultivated a sense of self and identity.
Right. Like Jack Talcott, when he went to that city council, he went there with his hoodie, looking like practically
Veterans
homeless.
for Peace, it said.
Instead of getting into a 3-piece suit, presenting himself, I don't know, man. It's like you would have had much more credibility, in my opinion, but no, I guess
he wore that shirt.
It's evident in the fact that if you look at Jack Talcott, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, we all kind of have our style or whatever we've grown up that we picked up on that maybe we haven't let go. But, again, with me, I've always been big. I've always had to shop with certain type of clothes. So that just leads me more to the urban style. And that's kind of how I grew up, right? So it's mostly just black T-shirts, certain camo pants, shit like that. And I get it. The same thing that I said about him could potentially be said about me, in fairness and in equity. We pick up on things early on. But see, the interesting thing about Jack Talcott specifically and a lot of these guys is they have multiple style changes over a short period of time. So if you watch Jack Talcott over the past 3 years, he's got 8 different looks. That's not a normal progressive development of one style. That's an attempt to try to appeal and grift and deceive. Hey, I'm going to grow my hair out this month and the beard out and put on Friar Tuck outfit and try to play spiritual monk. Okay, I'm going to go this way now and be corporate boardroom Jack. Okay, I'm going to go this way. You get what I'm saying? It's a clue into how the being operates and how they only do what they do for how they're perceived and received. And they don't think other people can read them or profile them.
And they really don't know much about themselves at all, really, because they've never looked inside. They've never
look
really
at that being's eyes right now. Look at that, Lewis. Look at that. It's archetypal. It's uncanny. The man looks like a complete animal. He looks like a complete broken, predatory, rabid animal.
One of his eyes is trying to escape.
And what's crazy is he thinks he's a ladies' man because in life, he will have more attention with certain kind of women than I will. The only kind of women that are drawn to men like this are broken and abused.
Right.
Like Lindsay, whatever.
And that's the majority of women nowadays. Let's be real about it. They don't know themselves. They have no identity either. And they have nothing other than either a lust in them or this idea of who's going to love me and who can I control. Right. So they lust for guys like this because they see, like it was amazing. DeFree characterized Slow State as Ted Danson from Cheers. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Like in their bizarre, twisted, uncool, disturbed world, he's Ted Danson from Cheers. And all the women who are like DeFreak who see that, who are broken and twisted and have no discernment, will gravitate to him and he will fuck them and think he's the man. This is every guy that I've like ever gone to in middle school and high school, like or college age parties, who thinks they're cool and interesting because they got 15 broken bitches in their phone who will fuck them and have no standard for themselves and each other of how to live and how to be.
You know, this reminds me of one time I had an audition for an actual television to participate in a kind of a contest on a television show. And there was 1,600 other participants there. I was like 1,634th or something like that. And I got the audition. And the reason I did get the audition was I showed up in a 3-piece suit, like the white one that you see me in thumbnails, and sometimes I have and whatever. So I was wearing that when I showed up. But every other participant that showed up, was just like dressed normally and had no. And I was like thinking to myself, but you guys were going on TV, man, and why are you all like dressed as if you were in your normal lives, man? You're going to go put on a show, right? So I was just doing a regular guitar solo, nothing actually really special on the guitar. But the ladies that were in the judge, there were 4 judges up there, 2 women and 2 men. The ladies were enchanted. And then they asked me why I dressed that way. And I told them, I says, well, we're going on TV. You got to give a show. I got to look good. You got to, it's got to be spectacular. She goes, thank you very much, sir. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. And I got the audition out of 1,600 other participants. Now, why I told that story, I don't know. It just like, for some reason, made me think of that.
I can't get over the looks that come across this kid's face and his eyes. It's so, this is the stuff they'll do, like Slow State will later now. He'll be so happy when he finally rolls out of bed 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon because he's been up all night like he does every night. He'll be so overjoyed that like we talked about him today. And then he'll go make this his content. And then he'll try to like shift the narrative and project it back onto me and say I'm obsessed with him and I'm fascinated by conscious and awareness. You guys are just the characters who've come forth in my life.
Trying to hide his eyes because he knows it.
Yeah, he knows how he looks and he knows that he's got permanent meth damage and he knows that he's a shifty creep. I'm kind of interested now. I made myself interested in someone who is sickening when you look in their eyes and see the way that they live and how they deal and how they'll just lie to everyone's face. You remember that day with Laguna where I asked her 3 times and she just lied in front of everyone with a smile on her face? She loves it. They love it. That's why they find themselves together. They're all the same person. They like to get online, lie to an audience over and over again, and then giggle to themselves and their friends that they pulled one over on everyone. That's their narcissistic duping delight game. I'm kind of interested now, OTW. Can we go back to the beginning and go to regular speed and actually hear what he's saying, his new format that he thinks is going to get him thousands of more subscribers?
All right, let's check this out.
I'm sure he's got a lot of interesting, compelling content and information and conversation. Oh, really paranoid, shifty-eyed, beady-eyed. looking around, wondering who's judging me because I really hate myself and I'm uncomfortable in my own skin. New format though. Really big glasses to hide my eyes and create a barrier between me and others because I know I live a lie. I don't even own sunglasses. That's the thing. These sunglasses in the daytime or in the house.
I'm just
at
testing out the
nighttime.
vertical streaming. I'm on my way to a job.
Yeah, right. Bullshit.
I've never done it.
Story's already bullshit. Stop it right there on
And I was
TW.
talking
Story's already
to,
bullshit.
buddy,
It
Eric.
shows to come on. He's pushing a narrative now, right? Hey guys, this is a quick video, 15 minutes, because I want to prove that I'm working and I'm not a loser failure on the way to the job. You know, he thinks we can't see right through this, right? And he'll just continue to bullshit his audience because 3/4 of them are stupid and they'll believe whatever the fuck anyone says on camera. The last 4 years has proven that. Slavid-19 proved that. So
Probably gone to see his
State's on his
parole
way to his
officer.
job. Yeah, for the first time in 6 months, he's on his way to a job again because he's so successful and productive. Go ahead. Let's continue.
No. I'm pushing the narrative. He's going to see his parole officer. This is my narrative.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's more likely.
Right? Yeah. Because, like Snafu Snaps can come up with whatever he wants. So I'm just going to say, like, yeah, he's going to see his parole
imagine,
officer.
OTW, someone who stays up broadcasting till 4 or 5 in the morning and then goes to work the next day? How much of a disturbed, pathetic loser failure you are?
Hold on a second. How about deceiving and conniving the fact that he goes on speed dating things while he's with he's supposedly living a monogamy lifestyle.
Well, that's more bullshit. We know that. I've called that out months ago. I can read these people. I look into me and know me, so I know them. I know their bullshit rap and where the reality is. He can't stand that woman he's with. That's why he does whatever he does all day and then stays up all night broadcasting. So he doesn't have to spend any time, energy, attention with that woman. It's obvious. She's even said it online. Go play with your friends all day and all night. She's pissed because they're in a horrible relationship where they don't care or value or respect each other, and it's going nowhere. They're codependent. That's all it amounts to. Like most of these relationships with sick people like this, they just need each other because they don't want to be alone.
It's all
If
lies,
you think
distraction,
that's good, you're going to love this.
delusion.
A sec.
All right, go ahead. Let's play it.
Hold on. I got something else for you, Paul, after this, all right? Because this is nothing. The next one will freaking get you going, that's for sure.
He don't care as long as she gives up pussy. He don't fuck that bitch no more. You know what I mean?
His subs went from, they've been stuck at 8,500 for years, like 3-4 years. And once he started vertical streaming, he popped up to, I think he's at 15 now. So I figured I'd give it a shot. Well, I got some car time.
Who's he talking about?
Well, yeah, go ahead and pause that for a second. Keymakers must be pointing out what he... See, I don't watch these clowns on their broadcast anymore. I don't give them the satisfaction. And I won't, keep up with what they're doing and subject myself to it. But that's because she's jabbed up and probably has no sense of taste or smell anymore. So she's been eating rotten meat and has a rotten refrigerator for 3 weeks and didn't even know it. So keep getting your jabs and getting pimped out and, just degrading. And
Probably doesn't have a
on
sense
me.
of smell anymore because that is supposedly...
That's what I just said.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, just making sure.
Bro, what?
Oh,
Never mind.
TW.
Never mind me. Don't worry about it. Sometimes
It's
I'm
hard to
slow
smell
on the
when
uptake.
you have a lingering. When you have a lingering odor around you 24/7, you become smell blinded and you can't smell anything but your own stink.
Yeah, she thought it was her disgusting pussy that was smelling like rotten meat. She didn't realize it was the refrigerator.
Oh, you didn't have to say that, did you? Oh, God.
When folks are jabbed up, they lose their sense of smell.
Good point, Timmy. Thank you. Let's get back to it. Oh, my God. Please don't.
Oh, I have to.
It's
It's worth it.
going to the Shallow and Vapid convention. Well, Slow State must be appearing there, huh? This is the Shallow Vapid.
You have to see
That's
this,
the
Paul.
fame
You have to
convention.
see this. I'm telling you.
is screaming for somebody named Troy.
Yeah, can someone explain to me who the fuck?
So
Troy
desperate
is?
to
I
be
mean,
cool
I
and be
don't
perceived
know.
as a
Is he
ladies' man. It's
content creator?
pathetic.
Who
Troy
exactly is?
what? YouTube legend?
I'll look him up while this speed day goes on. Okay, cool. So,
Yeah,
Flo,
this
you
is
said you're
this
gonna
is
do
who
all
shows
that.
up at your local bar in Kansas. This guy and Slow State, and they're like just the coolest guys ever, right? It's like an SNL bit. You know, we're two wild and crazy guys. We're the coolest guys ever. Hey, ladies, what's going on? Want to come back to the house? My girlfriend of 10 years is gone tonight. She's miserable and
that's
took the night off. Want to come back to my place? You won't get caught. Well, it's our place because I have no credit and can't afford to actually get anything, and I don't have anything that I've saved or reinvested. Well, I got this silver bar worth $1,000. Huh? What do you think of that? It's pretty good. It's pretty big timing, huh? I got these big Lebowski pictures behind me on the wall. I'm pretty fucking cool, huh?
3.
Would you be any more douchey?
All right, I'm gonna take myself off.
Listen to this. You're gonna trip. This is a
Hi, Lauren.
one
Hi,
hell of a
Grace. Hi,
show.
Chrissy.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi.
Good.
Can I get a real man here?
I hope so.
And he
Now
says,
pause
"I
it
hope
right there.
so.
Now pause it right there.
I hope so."
No, this is what I love because women, you guys are so evil. Many of you, these 3 women, they may have some attraction physically to Slow State, but they all know he's a bitch, and they're gonna laugh and giggle and ask him, "Oh, we got a real man now," because subconsciously and consciously in their minds they know he's another simped out, tricked out beta male coward, and they could have him wrapped around their finger at any moment. They don't respect him and someone like him. These are the women who respect someone like me. They're never going to say it. They'll show it, but they'll never. Well, Grace does. That's why I have some modicum of like faith for her and her outcome, because she's shown it and said it, right? But these vapid, shallow women who are materialistic and controlling, just like the men who they date, they're always going to tend to reject or rebuke someone like me and what I do because they know they can't control me. Right.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that because she does rebuke Flow State a few times in this interaction, right?
Oh,
So she,
these-
you
OTW.
Well, that's for
these
different
fucking
reasons.
things-
They wind up rebuking these beta males because they just don't respect them and they know that they're lying cowards who just want to fuck them but won't keep it real, right? Slow State's the kind of guy, like he already said, to bring pizza to his female friends to try to hope they'll fuck him. I'm not bringing anyone shit. You're going to fuck me because you want to or not, and I'm not going to care if you don't.
Bro,
That's just the way that it
these
is.
things never work for the man. No man would show up to one of these things and participate in this fucking nonsense. It automatically
Agreed.
gives the women a higher pedestal thing. That's why any of these things on the internet, when people do this and they put a woman there and then like invite simps up, no man is gonna go, and here's
makes
why
you look
I'm
so
cool.
pathetic. It's insane.
This is why it's reversed. It should be, if anything, it should be a man. And then the women come up.
These women are either supposed to be attracted to you and what you do, like Latuna following me around for a year and a half, or you become aware of them and you go in there to get them right because you see that they're goofy, broken bitches, like many of them are, like I did with Grace Thorpe, right? So nowhere in those two dynamics does it come in desperate for validation and vindication and to be seen as a cool ladies' man when you're opposite of that. Nobody's ever seen him with another chick. I'm using his line now that he used on me.
I think Grace.
This is the first
I don't
speed
know the rest of
dating
these
panel
girls.
I've ever been on.
Sorry,
I got to start preparing my broadcast now. Now you got me in a fucking
hold on
loop
a sec.
about slave state.
Wait, you still have time.
And
Wait,
he's gonna love this now. You're gonna give him his 2 hours tonight to just pretend that he's the coolest, most attractive ladies man ever, and we're all just jealous of him and want what he has, and we're like obsessing over him. It's so crazy what we're doing.
Exactly.
You're right.
It's going to be all over it.
It's better for him though, right? Slow State, I'm Taylor, right? Taylor, I'm helping you out, bro, because I'm aware, like you are, that you're boring, uninteresting, you have no lifestyle worthy of showing or talking about, and you don't live any truth. So it's best that we, from time to time, give you something to do or talk about rather than defer to that 10-man panel of tards and asylum cases that you like to lean on while you collect $10 to $20 at a time. Because, you know, you're like on a movement. You're big time in it. So I'm doing you a favor. I'm doing you a service. See, really, if I really wanted these people to like, if I really had a hatred beyond just the dislike of them, I just would completely ignore them and wouldn't give them any attention or even do the analysis on them, even if I cared to about the truth or the psychology, because I know it burns them up and eats them up inside. So in a way, I will analyze you. I will give the truth for the audience. I know you folks are talking about me constantly. That's never going to stop. So I'm giving you kind of what you need, right? I'm doing you service indirectly. It's a wink and a nod. I don't like you. I don't respect you. I think you're a deviant, but you need me to talk about you and focus on you from time to time just to have some content. Even if I don't, you're still going to talk about me because I'm something in your mind and in your life, and you guys aren't. So I accept that. I like appreciate that you guys hold me in such high esteem and high regard.
Well, you should. I mean, it's all about being humble, right?
And I chose this one specifically because if each one of us went on a date, I could see over the long term how it would evolve into toxic relationships each way. Fun, but toxic. And each one of you in different ways. So that's why I thought this would be a fun panel to date. Do you want me to go into that, or do you want to ask me any questions first?
No, just let's go into that. You got my interest. Let's go.
All right. Well, Grace and I would obviously have a dysfunctional relationship. It'd be histrionic, hot and cold, a lot of yelling and fighting. That's not a bad thing. I've had them.
That's what she's into.
They are fun.
Yeah, it would be pretty fun. Let's be honest.
Just listen to the deviance.
You're pretty hot.
Just listen to the sickness and the deviance. This is the modern day male and female. They're all giggling and laughing at their dysfunction, and they even admit it's a fun relationship when we're constantly yelling, screaming, and fighting. Is it? Are you just revealing exactly what I laid out the first hour here about Talcott and the rest of you, that you have a disturbed, dysfunctional upbringing, and it just oozes out of you in every interaction, including your relationships today?
Even
you think it's
future
fun and cute
projections
to be constantly fighting and arguing with a woman? It's amazing to me how they show how they're broken little boys again with their mama.
Because they're comfortable with that. They grew up with that, so when they get it, it's a known, it's a thing that they're comfortable with. They
right. Everything familiar. That I try to avoid or resolve, they think that is good, and they try to move into it. These are just it's perfectly uncanny to show the disturbance and the dysfunction and the personality disorder. I love it. I think it's great.
The masochistic wish to suffer.
Right.
You're pretty hot for.
I
don't have a place to land that one.
You're stuttering.
You're just pretty hot. Yeah, you're just simping and tricking now and desperate to get fucked by someone else other than an ugly, angry woman next to you.
Chrissy, I think we would have sort of similar dynamics, but it would be more hidden. I feel like, I don't know you. You're the only one on the panel I'm not familiar with, so I'm going to make some assumptions about you that may or may not be right. But you've got a crazy side.
Okay, can I just pause it right there? Can someone tell me what any of these three women bring to any actual successful man's table of any value other than just being some clown made up, half of them with plastic surgery, goofy broken hoe? What do you bring to the table as any kind of character, conversation, discernment, co-creative ability, mothering ability? What do you bring to any man's family or successful man's table that's going to make their life any better? You're just another barely pretty face, barely, all three of you, pretty face, made up like a bunch of clowns, dyed hair with plastic surgery, and you got nothing for a mind, heart, spirit, or a mouthpiece.
Right.
Grace has some redeeming quality and intellect and spirit in her. The other two, I don't know the other one, Chrissy, but from what I've seen so far, I'm very judgy, as you know, and I'm not expecting much.
Grace has a little bit of light in her eyes. She's misdirected. She's young, but she does have a little bit of light in her eyes. I don't know.
The point is regardless of how much Slow State and the rest of us think with our dick at times, and just want to fuck any woman who's giving us attention who doesn't look completely like me, right? Like that's how pathetic the lower half of us is, right? But like when you get away from that or you check that, it's called dick control. It's part of being a man. You realize bitches like this are nothing but a problem 24/7, 365. So you try to check yourself from going into chasing them and lusting after them because you know it never leads anywhere good. But when you're empty and shallow, materialistic and vapid, just getting fucked once every 10 years by some inauthentic corporate female hoe makes you validated. You feel like you're somebody. I think you're a loser, failure clown. And I think you're in good company. Water seeks its own level.
But you don't lead with it.
No.
But you might stab me.
Yeah.
Right.
If you decide, yeah.
And Lauren is the good girl.
Aw.
And congratulations
No,
on
she's
becoming
not.
a lawyer.
Thank
yeah, exactly.
Horrible reading again. Lauren De Laguna is an ambulance-chasing, lying, cocaine-doing whore who they made a whole picture, they made a whole message board about on Facebook and showed her text messages. She's just like every other goofy broad because we're all oneself. You just can't see through the pimp game, the reverse pimp game. She pretends to be the good girl because she wants to be seen as that. But just below the surface is the desperate, bitter, resentful, lustful Jezebel harlot freak. Who are you kidding? Go to the
She's a
Facebook
real-
message boards where the text messages are revealed that Lauren's got a daddy fetish. Who could have imagined that? Oh, I did within a week of meeting her. Because I felt the chemistry. Remember Mr. No Emotional Intelligence? Yeah, I read it a mile away. She's got daddy issues. I'm her daddy online, and she's been lusting after me for a year and a half, begging me to be a part of what she's doing indirectly, while shitting on me to pad her ego and saying I'm fat and ugly. She's only calling me fat and ugly because she wants to fuck me, and she can't figure out why. Because archetypally, I'm her daddy, subconsciously. I'm not a simp trick beta male like Slow State and the rest of these guys on here who pad their ego and pretend to be interested in them so I can fuck them.
Who's your daddy?
Yeah, let's go to the text messages on the Facebook message board where Lauren Laguna loves to suck dick and call a man she's with daddy. I bet she does. Good girls.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Good girls are the most fun to turn bad.
Here comes the money.
And I feel like at the end of the day, we come from different places and we might have different values.
You're so desperate and douchey and trying to be cool.
I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not from Laguna Beach. And getting in a fight with a rich lawyer is never a good idea. I feel like we would have a falling out ideologically. You would start fucking up my life, but then would not ever fuck it up all the way because you're too empathetic.
How could you cheat fuck up your life any more than you have already?
That's a beautiful idea.
But I would corrupt you.
Yeah.
Level of dryness in the room.
No, she'd eat you alive.
She'd corrupt you. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. She'd
that's
probably
the thing you're
corrupt
not
him.
getting. Laguna would eat you alive because she'd get you simped and beta tricked out and get you emotional about her at some point by sucking your little Peter. And then she's going to break your soul and leave you for some other douchebag who can give her more money and fame. You can't give her shit that she's looking for. What are you kidding? Break your little heart when you find out she's sucking daddy's fat dick with his stomach on her forehead so she can get some numbers and some money. Potentially, I won't even offer that. She would just do it off the strength of it. And it would tear your little ego and heart apart.
Like you look at this screenshot. This screenshot's great. Look at the bitch on the bottom right. Oh, another simp fucking loser. Boring. Top left.
Right.
What can I get out of him?
He thinks he's being cute and clever and funny and interesting and informative. And these women are like, could you get to something at some point?
Great.
Grace is laughing for the same reason that I'm laughing right now. She's laughing. Grace is laughing like that because she's ran around with Laguna and she knows it's ridiculous, the idea that she's a good girl. They talk privately. These women talk privately. They know how filthy and low self-esteem and self-worth and desperate they all are and how hoed out they are. Are you kidding? She's laughing her
Best
ass
thing-
off. You think you're gonna corrupt Laguna and you're gonna turn her bad and that she's gonna like be pining away for you? I think that you're off on that reading there, sir.
Yeah, I think you're right too.
Best thing about these girls is when China invades, you
But
send
I would
them,
corrupt
and
you.
they're Americans in 10 months.
So.
He's speechless. She goes, "Oh yeah, how are you gonna corrupt me?" And he's like,
right, because he's trying to play this bad boy imagery that he's built up for himself, that he's a badass, and he's trying to like, get them interested in his animal magnetism and his mysteriousness. Ooh, how are you going to corrupt me? Yeah, just tell him you're going to be a loser, failure, not work, sit around the house, use their credit cards, and do meth. That's how you're going to corrupt her. Not some crazy sex you're going to introduce her to. Who are you kidding?
That's what I thought he was gonna say. He's just not gonna pound you till your brains get fucking.
I'm gonna
turn to
pump
mashed
your
potatoes.
stinky pussy for 3 minutes until I premature ejaculate. Then I'm gonna go use your credit card at the bar. Sounds great. My fucking dreamboat's docked.
Well, this Chrissy Kanunen doesn't look very impressed. But anyway,
That's a beautiful.
When was this?
But I would corrupt you.
Yeah,
15 hours ago.
Well,
there, see, just fucking Grace. First one to laugh.
She's cracking up because she goes, "No, it'd be the opposite. I'd have you back on meth, bitch boy, within a few months. In your broken ego and broken heart, if you're not on it already still." It's laughable. And what man goes around speaking to corrupt, broken bitches, telling him he'd corrupt them and break them more? You guys are sick and twisted. You're going to be alone the rest of your lives, and you're going to be part of a deviant lifestyle. It's obvious.
So the first thing I thought when I saw this panel is
gagged, absolutely
that
gagged. No,
Grace-
nothing to say.
no, I have something to say. Grace would do bondage, and we'll talk about it. Chrissy probably will do bondage, but not talk about it. Lauren thinks she won't do bondage.
I don't do bondage.
He's probably right.
I've seen you with ball gags.
Yeah, as a prop for streams, bro. I mean, I would tie you up.
We've seen her
and
dad
do
with a ball
things to
gag.
you, but
Right.
you're probably into that.
I am
I'd
into
be
that.
down to sit.
Right. He's into
Right,
being
you are
dominated.
into that because everything you project onto me is true. You're a broken, resentful, hateful, angry, domineering person toward women because you got your mama's spirit and she devoured you. And you think that this is like hot and sexy, provocative talk. This is just revelation of what's in your eyes. You hate women. You want to dominate them and deceive them and manipulate them and control them. And even your sexual behavior is deviant. Every time I meet a bitch who's into that shit, she's deviant and hates herself. Oh, I got tattoos all over my body. Oh, I do drugs sometimes. And oh, punch me and choke me and treat me like trash. Yeah, you guys are broken and twisted, and that's why you find yourselves together. There's a fine line, again, when we're being sexual between pleasure and pain, right? A little bit of pain at times or a little bit of, playing the game of submit. We can play the power game of men being domineering and women being submissive. That should be natural and automatic. You shouldn't have to tie motherfuckers up and cut them and beat them and whip them and do drugs and all types of deviant shit. You motherfuckers can't just get pleasure or fulfillment out of normal, natural behavior. It's fascinating.
Or when
Chrissy is
she's the
looking
one
for
introducing
anything.
that to the man, that's sad. There's a red flag.
Right, when you can't
She's
get
tying
off
you
without
up.
introducing pain and hate and torture into your bedroom activities, you're probably a sick, twisted, abused, deviant narcissist. The same thing you project onto me. No, that's you.
Chrissy is looking for anything and Flo to just rag on right now.
Yeah, he's giving total like playground hopping predator vibes right now, and he thinks he's being cute and clever and sexy.
And watch Big Lebowski with you.
Great movie.
I bet it's one of your favorites.
He's insulting you, dumbass.
What tipped you off?
I don't know. It's just a guess.
Those are
He's saying you're a fucking clown,
Did you get
dummy.
the Hobby Lobby?
They're canvas paintings. I bought them from an artist. I actually traded him guns for them.
No, you didn't.
Wow,
Swear to God.
can you stop it right now? Stop it right there. The broken little child traded his guns for Big Lebowski painted pictures. Do I need to say anything more? And he thinks he's so inept and unconscious. He thinks she's complimenting him. This is what women like this do. They trick you, they play you, and they make fun of you to your face while acting like they like you. You're being played, and you think you're a ladies' man. They think you're a loser, failure, broke clown, just like I do.
Yeah, but he
Laguna
just did
will
the
cock him out
correct
in no
thing
time.
right now. Guns for picks. They love
Laguna
that.
will cock slow state out in like months, less maybe.
He's just sitting there being like a stone on the ground, and they're just eating it up, except for Chrissy.
The freak, why are you even here, bro? You go around to other chats. I
Yeah.
seen you the other day
Yeah, like-
talking shit. Why do you go around talking shit about me and then trying to show up here and hanging out? We don't like you and we don't respect you. We don't like you and we don't respect you. Why are you here? Let's just cut right to the chase. I know, you know that, but yet you're still here. Is that more evidence of why we don't like you and respect you? Because you're pathetic and embarrassing? You think maybe that's why?
Well, everything wrong with
Okay,
these
could you
girls
just get
are
the fuck out then? Because this is like what I used to do when we'd hang out with people. Like I just take the lead at some point. If anyone disagrees with me, pipe up, because I'm not here to like control anyone else or speak for them. But this is what I've been doing for the longest time. Some guy comes to the garage we used to hang out with back in the day, and I just go, "Hey, bro, why are you here? Let's just get right to it." Because you talk shit everywhere else, you act like we don't know it in here, then you show up here and want to hang out and party, and it's fucking weak ass shit. So let's just go directly at it and address it, or I'm gonna throw you the fuck out. That's just how I am. I don't play this fake ass lukewarm games with you people and act like this and do this and then pretend Paulie's the meanie because he's direct and authentic. Let's just hash it out. Let's get to the bottom of it, what you're going to do from here on out, or you could just get the fuck out and not come back.
Well, I can't even do anything because Lori Chavez is jamming me
Okay,
on
that I'll take that as you're a bitch and you can get the fuck out and not come back because you just projected onto a woman for your feelings and your behaviors. Just like most of you inauthentic corporate beta males. You'll blame a woman for why you're an embarrassing bitch.
I'm not blaming anything. Those are facts.
Yeah, you need to go blame your mama. She's the one who turned you into an embarrassing bitch. It wasn't Lori Chavez. Okay? Schedule an appointment at your local therapist. Maybe they can help you be a man.
I even type one thing in the chat and she blocks me out.
Could you just get the fuck out on your own volition because you're a loser, failure at 48 and have nowhere else to be, and then talk shit about people you also sit next to and hang out with because you're that desperate?
Like you're not right back up and at him right away this morning.
Bye. We'll see you later. Could you get the fuck out? Why? There you go. Okay.
Thank you. So we can move on with the show, man. Jesus.
Finally.
AR-15s. I got a bunch of paintings from him. His name is Ocean Clark. And back when I've lived a lot of different lives in 37 years. Back in a previous one.
Oh yeah,
I
are
had
you
more.
a felon?
I am, but I'm eligible for expungement in 2 months.
Congratulations.
Let's get you non-eligible stat.
Well, and I've already got the paperwork filled out because I did my math wrong and thought that I could file in December, but I can't.
So when it's expunged, you'll be able to vote and own weapons again, or no?
I already have my voting rights reinstated. I don't use them because I'm jaded politically. But I do want my gun rights back.
Yeah, that must be really.
I want my
devastating
gun
that
rights
you
back.
owned a bunch
The
of
government
AR-15s
says they can give them and take them. I want them back. You punk ass coward clown. You bitch.
Okay, well, Paul, I live in the reality of whatever the current government
Yeah.
is.
Blah, blah, blah.
You
You're
live
a
in
punk ass bitch, and you let these
imagination.
agents and these courts tell you who and what you're going to be, what you're going to do, and how you're going to live. And it wouldn't even fucking matter. Like, you can't own guns and have felonies and be on certain states. Give me a fucking break. You're just too much of a punk ass coward to uphold the law and your rights and potentially have to deal with consequences.
That's true.
You treated them for
Well,
voting?
I forfeited them in a plea deal.
Okay.
Yeah, you're a pleading cowardly slave. You gave your rights up because you're a punk ass bitch pleading cowardly slave. And that's why you're so burnt up about me and resistant against me, because I'm the man you wish you were, boy.
Man. Is this so revealing?
That's part of the way I got the plea deal I got. And for anybody watching, I have a drug felony.
You're a moron.
Was that I had $100,000 worth of guns that were legally owned to forfeit.
That sucks. I do kind of feel like I've heard the argument that we should make all drugs legal, and I'm not sure about that. I just
is anyone buying that Slow State had $100,000 worth of guns? Another pathological lie. I bet anything on it.
Like trafficking, I understand why it's a felony, but I do feel bad for people who get like a a felony charge for personal use.
But you know that the legal distinction between distribution and personal uses is what?
Quantity.
It's yeah, that's what it was for me. I have a distribution conviction, even though I never distributed to anyone.
It's not, dumbass. We got a dumbass lawyer and a dumbass pleading out
even when I was
cowards who
tweaking,
don't
I didn't like
understand
tweakers.
what they're talking about.
So you don't want to be around them a lot, so you bulk buy, you store it in your house, you get caught with little, then they search your home and they find a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's like I don't know. Yeah, it's upsetting. I kind of feel like this should
enough
change.
gun talk. Can I
Yeah,
spit in
I'm
your
like,
mouth?
can we switch the topic?
Can I spit in your mouth?
Yes.
Damn.
In fact, I demand it.
Give it to me, mommy.
She's like, let me tie you up. Let me spit in your mouth.
Open wide.
Let me
Brayton and
abuse
I already
you
have
to
sort of
take out all the resentment I have
dysfunctional-
on my corporate male father on you. Are you okay with that? Yes, I demand it.
He doesn't get that they're
despicable.
shitting on him. There's no
these are
sexual
men. These are
gratification
women who
from
hate
it.
men, and they only use men to puppet them and play with them and shit on them. Yes, you're getting it, Timmy.
Wow. Wow.
Sexual relationship, even though we never met in person. She hits on me, I hit on her.
I give them pussy
Her
for a
dad.
couple minutes a week. They take everything.
About how the world is flat. It's not exactly.
They would never
I
fuck
don't
him because
talk
they know he's broke and has nothing to offer.
Right. Well, yeah.
About that.
Him, yeah.
I don't talk about that. Tommy talks about that. I actually have on my channel. I have a 2-week ban on any topic relating to the shape of the earth or skin color.
Can you imagine
Very
what's going to
tired of
happen to his
topics.
daughter as she grows up?
Yeah, she's going to be a whore just like the 3 women he's talking to. We know that. And he spends no time with that daughter of his as well. That's another
And
reason.
or traumatized.
Right. You're going to see the exact mirror of what we're seeing here. A woman who's had no father in her life regularly, a man with no wisdom and no action. And she's going to go selecting a douchebag like Slow State to abuse her and corrupt her. And then he'll be sitting there in his ego, whining and crying and not talking to her more and more and more because she's going to wind up turning into everything that he is or the inversion of what he is.
And blaming her. He'll blame her.
It'll be her fault, right? It wasn't that he was a terrible father and they were terrible parents and that they're deviant and twisted and disturbed addicts. No, she just didn't. What did I do wrong, right? Why didn't my daughter grow up to be something more than what she become? Because look at you. You have a distorted sense of self, so you can't.
Damn.
Alrighty. Good to know. Good to know.
It's over.
Joe.
Nobody, they're not interested in asking any questions. It's like, it's over, man. The speed date's over, dude. It's like,
Because he's broken, grotesque.
You failed, man. Oh boy.
So Joe Cool, someone who comes up on my panels a lot, and he always wants to talk about race. I love Joe Cool too, but I'm tired of the race debate. Everything is not related to race.
Back to race?
So is it me, or you just use Joe Cool as a segue to gain credibility for some reason? Or is that just me? Could be just me.
He's nothing.
Well,
to
he's
say.
right
He
about
is
frequently.
nothing.
It's
He's
too
right
big.
about Joe Stool, though. He is lost in the race debate.
Yeah, but in this moment, the dude has nothing to say. He doesn't do. What is this guy's life? He's just like, oh, I pleaded out. Oh, the government, reality sucks. Oh, I'm cool somehow with all of this.
Yeah, he has nothing to show to attract the woman for a real reason rather than just his delusional fucking lost life. He doesn't have anything else.
Big of a paradigm in his worldview. It's just not a big one in mine.
I agree. I think I've had that fight with him before too. I think I have. He's an interesting dude for sure.
Flo, are you intimidated by Chrissy?
No.
You seem a little
Who would
intimidated
be
by her.
intimidated by me? I'm like the nicest and softest and most feminine.
Well, I'm just saying he's not
Oh, that's
talking
a
to you a
lie.
lot. He's not talking to you a lot, and maybe he's a little scared of you. I
Well,
don't know.
she's less talkative than the other two of you.
Well, maybe you should try to
Chrissy-
coax her out of it. Riz Master.
Chrissy, I think that Grace is getting a little bit jealous of me talking to Lauren. Do you want to try to make her jealous of me talking to you?
I don't really like to make anyone jealous, but you know, I got my girl. I'm a girl's girl, so I got Grace's back before yours.
What?
That was kind of based.
All righty. Okay, so Lauren, would you go on a date with Flow State? I think
No.
He might be a little too wild for me. I feel like he'd be better for Grace or Chris.
Just say
Like,
no.
no.
Come on, man. Just say no, man. And all these reasons, man. Just say no. Fuck.
Personality type, but he's but then again he's saying that he's trying to corrupt me, and I like my good girl Emily. Why would you
She likes her good girl act. You know, don't fuck up the good girl act. Yeah, right.
You were looking for a guy to finesse you a little bit?
You know, in other words, what she would say is she would probably do exactly what Paul said that she'd do and then dump you like a fucking rag. You know, just use you for a good time, and probably that wouldn't last long, and then just move on. But she wouldn't even consider that a date because you're probably not date worthy. My opinion.
finesse not tell me that they're gonna ball gag me and get me into BDSM?
I didn't say that to you.
Not BDSM. What was
That's true, you
it? He said
I just said I would corrupt you.
Yeah. And then, didn't you say something about tying up, like Grace looks like she would get tied up and into it. Christy said that she'd get tied up but then wouldn't speak about it. And then I said that I'd look like the type that wouldn't get tied up. Isn't that what you said?
You think you wouldn't?
Yeah. So you scare me.
So Lauren, so the answer
You scare me. It's like, why would you want to tie somebody
that was a
up?
loving no. That's a yes. I think that was a yes. Felicity.
Yeah, no,
I
you're a
would go on
creepy
date with
douche.
Felicity, yeah.
Next.
Oh God.
I think the age gap might be kind of weird, but I would go on a date with him, sure.
Oh my God.
Okay, Chrissy.
I don't know. We didn't really talk much. I feel like him and Lauren actually connected some type of way. I could see them going out because I feel like opposites attracts. And I don't know. I saw something there. So I was just, again, observing that, seeing where that would go.
Yeah, I'll start off positive. There's a lot of positive. You have a lot of charisma. You do more than I've seen anyone on this panel today, with except for me, obviously. And you're funny without actually coming off as dancing monkey, which is a rare balance that not a lot of people can pull off. So that's all positive. I think that there was that awkward moment. I think Grace said something and you kind of started when you were like responding to it, but you know, that can be avoided. But I think really the more thing that can be avoided is it kind of started off as a speed date, but then became a serious interview for like half of it. And then it became like went back to being a speed date. So yeah, I would probably just not like leave out the talk of like felonies and whatever, all that stuff in the prison system.
Well, first of all, a speed date is one at a time. And then like if from my perspective, it's like everybody switches the chairs, you know, like when it's in a room. So it should have been like one-on-one for like 30 seconds. With
if I could just get some commentary, maybe if you just leave like the glasses on so we don't see your shifty, beady, creepy eyes and kind of leave out the parts about you being a loser, failure, drug addict.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
leave that out.
And put a virtual background instead of the
But I mean, like really charismatic. I mean, you know, compared to all the other loser, failure, deadbeats on here today, you're like really lighting the world on fire, kid. I think you got some potential there. And who's this guy with the smashed in head who looks like he's been ran over by an 18-wheeler with the monotone voice, who's giving us dating advice now? What membrane have we passed into? Bizarro world where Bizarro Superman's going to give us dating advice?
There's another one of these pickup clowns.
His name is Alex PWF.
Yeah, I could totally see he's like somebody who's, you know, he's another ladies' man. You know, I mean, compared
the channel's
to
name,
he's
the channel's name is actually Playing with Fire. It's got 191,000 subscribers, and the name of that particular stream was live speed dating with 3 girls.
Yeah, so the guy with the thalidomide
Cringe
look,
rejects.
like he's got a baby arm coming out of the side of his head. He's going to give us dating advice. Why am I not buying any of this?
I don't know.
No, that's a nose. That arm is a nose, it's not an arm.
Guy looks like 28-year-old John Travolta. If he was going bald and just got in a car accident, is going to give us dating advice from his little cubicle there with his gaming toys and what is hanging on? Is that like action figures and gaming boxes hanging off the wall? I mean, what are we doing? What is this?
Yeah, they're all.
Why am I still here? I gotta go. I'll see you guys.
He's realizing, like, you know, what the fuck? Where is this real? Am I real? You know, I was going through that the other day too. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
For the first, I don't know, at least date or two. Just out of curiosity, what drug were you calling?
Fucking phone calls.
Meth.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, how old is Lauren? She's in her 30s, right?
Oh, dude,
like something like that.
You're living in Kansas if you're holding.
Sorry. She's like in 33, 34, something like that. You know, I have a sense, I could be completely wrong. I don't know if anybody else sees it too, but I have the sense that she sort of at one point was looking for someone to lead her, and it's just sort of, you know, dissipated over time where she doesn't feel that that's possible anymore. But like what's her name there, Grace, I think she has that still in her where she wants to be led in a better direction, and she's still young enough possibly to get there, and Laguna is sort of further along in that process. I don't know if anybody else gets that sense.
I understand what you're saying. Boo, when 98% of men are fucking losers, I mean,
can
you blame them? It's like they're just doing a statistical analysis.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they're all going their own way, right? Like they're making it, they've given up the world, they've given up their rights, they've given up their freedom, they've given up their property, and now they want to blame women for it. And it's
and then these poor women, what are they supposed to do? Like, okay, yes, they do have the direct connection to God, they can do their own thing, but then when it comes to relationships, it's like, and so they're just like kind of playing, they're just toying. Like, look at the Thor's her whole thing.
Yeah.
The concept of a woman even having a channel like that is just nuts.
Yeah.
Like her whole channel is just the demonstration of this mental illness, and it's somehow like interesting for people. It's just bizarre.
Yeah, well, it goes both ways. It seems like the men are, I don't know, they should be the ones that are leading, that are bringing the women along. But I don't even know what I'm trying to say. But it's pretty sad overall when you look at it from a distance.
Yeah, well, they're rebuking their daddies. They're rebuking their pussy beta fathers because they know that they haven't led them at all. And so, usually a girl is supposed to be protected and led by her father, then by her husband, then by her son. But most of these girls, their whole lives, they've had pretty much, in my opinion, nobody for most of them. And so what the fuck do they do?
No actual example, you mean? Like no actual tangible example that was surrounding them. Right.
Yeah,
because
so they turn to TikTok. They turn to movies. That's why they date the way they do. They
Or the
turn
government.
to the internet.
They
Right,
turn to the government too. Yeah.
And then some of them fall for what that clown said. Ooh, you have charisma. No, it's called arrogance. There's nothing inside. There's nothing underneath it. So they're falling for arrogance because their fathers were weak, and they showed arrogance. But then the little girl sees what daddy is doing at home, and he's a miserable, drunk, drug addict, loser, failure, beating them
he
all.
perceived that charisma through the tone of his voice, but I agree with you. There is actually no real charisma behind it, right? Because he has a certain tone of voice.
Well, look what he led
speaks
with.
in the mic.
Yeah, but there's confidence and then there's arrogance. Like confidence is true. It's based on something. It's a core. It's a mountain. There's solidity there. Arrogance is pretending. It's a persona, pretending to be something you're not. And I mean, look at the guy. I mean, you can, like you guys said, you can see it in the eyes.
Yeah. And then you look at what he led with. He's doing a speed dating thing, and what does he lead with? All the shit that he's done in his life, all the garbage that he's done, all
projecting all his
the
relationships
things,
onto the three women that were on the panel, right?
Because all he sees himself as is possibly to get a woman, he has to rely on his bad boy image, because he doesn't have any other image.
Right.
Of
He didn't even get to any questions. He didn't really ask any questions to get to know the women, or anything. Like it wasn't like, can you guys cook? Do you guys do you women want to be mothers? And what does that look like to
right,
you?
OTW, he'd have to have a standard of values and character evaluation.
Right.
He doesn't. The presumption is all three of those women could have any man who comes on there, and then they get to decide, are they going to fuck him or not? How much of a loser he is or not. So just by being there, you're proving you're desperate and you have no standards or character evaluation. You'll fuck any three of them if they let you, and neither of them is going to let you.
Right, because they don't see you as a man. They see you as some kind of fucking hook, right? It's like if you would have came in.
Imagine if a man comes into the situation and he takes the leadership role and say, who are you? What are you about? How do you live? What's your value?
Exactly.
Because if you're any kind of man with any kind of discipline or understanding, you know this is pimping. You ain't supposed to be reverse pimped on. You're supposed to be picking for women to fuck with you and be under what you're doing and a part of how you see and feel and think.
And that's probably what a real woman is looking for too.
Yeah,
but she probably doesn't even know it.
Like how I may like a part of me may want to fuck all three of these dirty hoes because they put themselves out there like objects to be objectified. But beyond what my dick is doing, my mind and heart and spirit tells me stay the fuck away, because they're going to get you caught up. They got no value systems. They got no principles. They're deviants.
And you know how they would answer, right, Paul? They would say, oh, this one's rude. What do you mean? And then they'll just deflect. What do you mean I have to show? No, this is not how this works. I'm the queen. I'm the prize.
No, you're the bitch who when like we're feeling lustful and desirous, we lust for you and we fuck you, and then we don't pay you any mind because you're not credible and you have no self-respect and you don't live in any way with any kind of values or principles. Furthermore, you'd make horrible mothers. So how I am at this point, the more I grow and mature, I haven't had many experiences. So I'd like to explore sexually more in that sense. But beyond that want, that desire, that sub-psychological setup, right? I see past that with discernment. If I'm going to fuck somebody, she has to be mother material. She has to have something going for her. She has to have some vision or discernment. If not, I ain't fucking her. Right. And you could argue whether you have intercourse or not, you probably shouldn't be laying down with or doing anything with a woman who doesn't have the qualities it would take to be a good human being or a good mother, because they're probably not a good person.
Right.
Right.
And
so
notice those
why
are the
we would
two...
share ourselves with people who are not good people is evidence of our dysfunction.
And notice that's why those are the two characteristics that I mentioned. If it was me up there on the panel, those were the two first questions that I would have asked, right? It's like, well, can you cook? Because, in my mind, if you can't cook, then what the fuck, in my mind, that means you can't take care of yourself. It's like, what the fuck? You can't cook?
masculinity, guys. We're beyond that. This is progressivism. We're the prize. We're not dealing with that with you pussy men trying to tell us if we can cook or not.
Okay, so what are you
But it's simple. It's a simple question.
Who is that? Which woman is that?
I'm all of them. I'm the prize. All on slave.
Okay, all three of you
Sounds
bitches,
like
right?
Laguna.
When I'll date all three of you at once. When you're done sucking my dick and getting me off, which you're probably really good at because you're three broken hoes and that's all you have experience with, what are you going to be a part of doing and creating with me? Do you garden? Are you looking to take care of children? You looking to take care of animals? You looking to build something? You looking to do law or like legal process, Lauren, and act like a fucking Jezebel, harlot, Babylonian scum? What are you looking to do with me exactly and be a part of this life? I can't see any position for you other than sucking my dick and then going home.
My feminine energy is going to like give you the ability to like relax around
blah,
me.
blah, blah. When's the last time you've actually had an orgasm with one of your inauthentic corporate beta males in the room? When's the last time you've actually gotten wet?
All the time.
I'm sure. No,
that
not
means
the dildo,
never.
Not the
That means
vibrator. The dildo next to you, right? The guy that's supposedly paying your bills.
Then they'll giggle and reveal, or they'll reveal it. Now that's not true, Paul.
Yeah, 50% of these women have never had an orgasm with a man in the room, and they wonder why. I know why. It's obvious. Look at what's going on.
You're just hateful. You just say, "Who hurt you?" It's the same. They just have the same robotic.
Yeah, no, you're onto it. You get it. I'm toxic masculine. I'm egotistical and narcissistic because I dare to date with some kind of standard other than you bending your ass over, right? I could get that, that's all over the place at this point. Everywhere you go, there's some hoe with an OnlyFans who you could pay to fuck. Where are we going before and after that is the question.
This is boring. I'm next. I wouldn't date this one because, he's kind of boring. He's like,
right, that's the thing. You wouldn't date me because I'm not going to date all three of you. You got one position at this point, the way you are. Suck my dick. We're going to have a great time, like Flow State says. I'm not corrupting anyone. You're three broken hoes. So we're going to do what hoes do. And then we're going to go back to whatever it is the rest of my life looks like. Right. And because that's that way, I probably can't fuck you. Even if I want to, I can't fuck you because let's say something gets crazy and something happens and now I'm attached to you, right? Because that's part of having sex is we develop bonds with folks. Now I got bonds to three broken hoes who serve no purpose and value in my life. So I can't date you either. I'm sorry. I'd like to fuck you and use you and objectify you and have all three of you suck my dick and tell me I'm the man. But that's not going to get us anywhere long term.
Don't worry. That's not going to happen. I'm just going to pick Flow State. He seems like a
listen, I'm totally for that. I get it, right? This has been my walk from the beginning of time being here. It's always the broken, disturbed college douche who gets the girl in the end. The problem is I'm not looking for a girl. I'm looking for a woman. So all the better.
Yes, but I have a flow. I'm a flow state, and I'm with my
You are
felon,
pretty cool. I mean, you do have
gun.
the earrings and the leather jacket. You got a bad boy look going on. I don't know if that's meth boy or bad boy or there's something going on there. It's pretty mysterious.
And I'm going to false present my strength by spitting in your mouth, tying you up, and beating you.
Yeah.
All at the same time.
I encourage beating of our partners, arguing, fighting, and spitting on each other. That's how I grew up. That's the makings of a happy, prosperous household.
But it's fun.
It's fun, right? Girls just want to have fun. Broken beta bitches just want to have fun. They don't give a fuck about purpose and meaning and destiny and value.
Yeah,
I get it.
I'll get a kick out of it.
Yeah. What else is there to live for, right? We're just pure nihilists. There's nothing else to do here, be, or live for. We got no more rights. We admitted that. We plead out and submitted those. So there's no hope of being a man anymore. May as well just find some broken bitches to fucking suck with, do math, beat each other up, spit on each other, and wait to die. Who's in, huh? Anyone down? Anyone?
Yeah, and
Hello?
the right to travel.
It's not really attractive, honestly.
The right to travel only means...
Right, let's be honest.
Doesn't sound good.
3/4 of the women I meet can't date me. They may even want to. They can't date me because they're too fucked up from the slow state they were dating before me. Let's be honest about it. Do we have to start naming names? They might be here right now. We might really get into it. There's people I've talked to privately that I have a connection with, that I'd like to experience more with. We can't Because they're still broken from the slow state they were dating before that me or before where they're at right now. All you got to do is check their slave book pages and you'll find the douchebag with the tattoos who's on drugs with the backward hat, who thinks he's a man, who acts like a punk little boy bitch, don't stand for nothing and won't keep it real. Most of these women are so fucking twisted in their sense of self and their value and broken because they've been dating these scum for so long. So when they get to me, they're like, I really like you. I have feelings for you, but I don't know what to do because I'm like so fucking Stockholm syndrome from being confused and abused and twisted all over the place. I know, I get it. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to love you women in my own way by giving you the truth and then offering you an opportunity. It's not really about fucking at the end of the day. It's about getting back what the fuck we've given away, if not to the state of and the corporate scum, to the folks we've been laying with.
These people are disgusting.
You should have hit the "Who's Your Daddy?"
Yeah, I like that one too. Actually, I was gonna play it earlier, but let's play it now.
Who's your daddy?
Slow on the up.
Who's your daddy?
I gotta be daddy because whether I want to fuck them or they want to fuck me, we can't because we're too busy having to do other work psychologically and sociologically. So we can't. You know, that's the position daddy occupies. Oftentimes you don't get what you want. Motherfuckers got to get what they need. That's a long game.
It's the pit is so deep that by the time you get them just to ground level, it takes fucking half a lifetime. It's like they're so deep in the bottom of that pit. Just to get some of these women to a level place on the ground where you can move forward in a direction that's positive or fulfilling.
Watt Life says, if all else fails, Timmy can give advice on how to get a mail order bride. Hey, you chat slave, come up here and tell us some better advice for the broken men. Sorry, I'm able to deal with women all over the world. I'm so sorry about that. Sorry. Should have just got Sally from North Dakota, Slow State's sister. Damn it. That's what I should have did.
She could have made you cupcakes with sprinkles.
Fuck. Why am I such a traveling free fucking man? God damn it. Just stay in the US and pick fucking fat Sally from fucking North Dakota. Damn it. Fucking Watt Life. Should have listened to him.
What life? What life has no life?
Timmy, are you ready to go soon, man? I got a fucking headache already today. I didn't want to do today's broadcast. I'm ready to check out.
I had one at the end of yesterday's. Yeah, I got this, man.
I need you to take over today. I need you to carry the broadcast, Timmy. I need someone.
I'm fresh.
Someone I can depend on.
All right. I'll be there. I'll be there.
Lou, how about you? You want to co-host with, I think OTW is working, but do you want to co-host with Timmy?
I'm fucking useless. I don't know where I would start.
No, you're good. You got something going on lately. I've changed my mind about you. You got muscle, kid.
Right.
Yeah, I'm on the phone right now. I'll be right with you.
Is this the thumbnail?
Yeah.
You should have put some faces on the sheet, though. Come on, like the free, like that.
That's OTW's work right there. That's
like,
not mine.
Come on, OTW's always dropping the ball. Like, look what a perfect situation he had. The freak could have been right on your shoulders there with his face. I don't even know what he looks like. Does anybody know what he looks like? Has anybody seen the freak? Other than the AI images we created about him. Well, whatever. Pick an image. It looks like the rest of the slaves anyway. And then you could put Jack Talcott on one, Slow State on another one, maybe Joe Stool.
Yeah, if you imagine Jack Talcott's son, I imagine it looks just like the freak.
Yeah, probably. Poor guy. Oh my God. Like that's pretty extreme. Like when you think about Jack Talcott's situation with his son, like, I mean, holy motherfuckers. Like this kid will have nothing to do with him at all. Like, how fucking crazy is that? Like,
Son, can you just get out of your imagination and accept the advice that I am giving you? Please.
Lou, you're not asking questions in order to understand the truth. You're just kind of giving your truth.
Right. Like, man, oh man, that would hurt
I'm
my
tired
soul.
of your fucking disrespect, son. I slave away at the post office for 27 years, not knowing what the fuck I'm doing, and I did it for you. Where's the respect? Now I realize I'm Jesus, and you won't accept it because you're in your delusion.
Let me bless you.
My ex-wife and I have separated due to religious differences. She wouldn't accept I was God.
She's delusional.
I mean, I probably wasn't the best father in the world, and I probably did a lot of mistakes and shit like that. But I mean, overall, I think my kids have turned out to be good people. And, you know, maybe, you know, we've had our difficulties, but to have them completely eliminate themselves from my life would be, I don't know what, I would have to fucking do something about it. Like there was no, not to do, maybe that's not the right words, do something about it, but about me, if that's the case, that my children don't actually want to have anything.
Yeah, well, let's be clear, Lewis. The same thing that's going on with my father, seemingly all of our life, was going on with you and may still be on some level. That if you didn't come to these panels and get more introspective and reflective, they may have stopped talking to you. Because if you can't see what you're doing and how you're interacting with them from their position, folks should stop wanting to be around their family or friends or whoever, right?
Yeah.
If you can't see who you are, what you're doing and what you're creating, and when you're told, you get angry and reactive, nobody wants to be around you and nobody can feel safe in loving you. So I think we're all, you know, there's some degree to it for all of us to look at.
Yeah, and for me, that was probably if I had to look at my life in general, that was probably my biggest mistake, is come to a point where I sort of gave up and just let the world be what it is and just kind of turn my back on it. That's probably what affected them the most.
When was that?
Probably around the time I hooked up with Paul's broadcast and started looking for something more than what I was doing. And that was probably the worst thing I've ever done for me, which would have affected them and was affecting them to some degree. But thankfully,
what are you saying?
I'm saying that I was in a position where I had sort of given up.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I had given up on moving forward in my life, and I just stayed in one position and stagnated and saying, I'll just.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I could see that when you first came on, you were deep into a fighting resistance space, kind of giving up, resigned that it was going to go bad. And now you just got to live from now till then. Through the process of this fellowship and this non-community, I think you've gotten a faith kind of reignited and more of a purpose, right? And more of a philosophical perspective on life that I think serves you and others around you.
Well, I opened the door, right, where I had closed it for a certain period of time and locked myself behind it for a while. And that's probably the biggest thing that my children resented, because it wasn't the man that they grew up with, right? Where my door was always open. And then all of a sudden it's closed, and they resented that, and I don't blame them, right?
Can you, I'm a father of a 1-year-old, right? So can you ascertain where along the line, like, what do you think it was that I don't know. Can you humbly tell us? Whatever. You don't have to.
I'm not going to tell you exactly. I know exactly what it was.
You fucked up? Yeah.
Well, I can't really go on to detail about what it was, but there was a specific incident that happened with my mother and sister that sort of pushed me to that place, right? And I kind of took it out on everybody, right? And more on myself than anybody, more on myself, because I locked myself behind the door and wouldn't fucking let anybody in and wouldn't walk out. So that situation that happened put me into a really a position of resistance to everything and everyone. And I had sort of made a decision at that time to say, okay, fuck this. Like, there's no point to this. I'll just wait to die. Right?
Wow. I'm asking about like 20 years ago, not like 3 years ago.
Well, 20 years ago, I was always pretty much, no matter what was going on, I was always there for my children. I was always involved in their life. I was always part of their life. They were always around me, despite the fact that it was about 20 years ago or so that we split up, my ex and I. So yeah, it's been more than 20 years, actually. So yeah, it was around that time that we split up, and I went through a difficult time during that period for obvious reasons, but I came out of it, moved forward, looked to do, still living life. I opened a restaurant. I tried to change things and always had my children in my life. My children worked with me every day at the restaurant, and then, yeah, just that situation that happened with my sister and after I sold the restaurant, it put me in a bad place, and I was letting everybody pay for it.
I feel like pulling a snafu on you right now. So you were exploiting minors?
Exploiting minors? What do you mean? Oh, for the work. No, they were grown. They were fucking whatever, 17, 18 years old.
That's like a minor. You were exploiting minors. You tyrant. Okay, I'm done.
And I used to, because I didn't really actually give them a direct paycheck, but all day, all night when they were working with me, I'd stuff 50s and 100s.
You were using them as slaves? Oh, that's even worse.
Pockets,
no, I really want to snafu you.
They'd keep all their tips, and I'd go around and I'd stuff a couple $100 bills in their back pocket or 50s or whatever. So I never really gave them a paycheck, but I'm sure they ended up sometimes walking out on a weekend with maybe $1,000 in their pocket, But it wasn't a conventional working relationship.
It's called private trust, Luke.
If you understand what I'm saying.
You can give them whatever the fuck you want in trust.
Yeah. No, but it's it's easy. I mean, when sometimes life hits you in a certain way, and if you're not prepared to go through whatever it is it's hitting you with, it's easy to fall into that hole, right?
I feel like you're tap dancing, man. You're tap dancing right now.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. That's how it was.
Where did you fail as a man that caused the break between you and your wife, and then cascading effects? Her fault, your fault, or you don't want to talk about it? If you don't, then whatever.
No, I know I had a hand in it, obviously. You have a relationship, you obviously there's two people involved, right? But I couldn't have chosen what she chose, right? She chose to do what she chose to do, whether it was because of me or against me or to me, I can't really say. I know that I had my issues, and I was always willing to work through my issues. But there's certain things that I wasn't willing to work through. That's it. Like there's a place where there's a line for me anyway.
Okay,
right?
Can you give anything to the audience?
At least
or
at
just
that
going to be extremely ambiguous about what the topic?
Well, listen, when someone does something in a relationship that you believe has crossed the line of what you're willing to accept, whatever it may be, for everybody, it might be something different. Today, I might make a different decision because I've changed, I've grown, I understand things a little differently. I'm more along the lines of what Paul is talking about today than I was before, where I don't believe that this whole one man, one woman. I laugh because there's this short on YouTube. I think it's Robert Duvall, or I don't know who that actor is, where he grabs some punk kid in a restaurant and he says, "Hey, I killed men on 3 continents with tanks, with horses, with donkeys. I did all this horrible shit, but loved only one woman." And it's like I laugh when I watch that. But yeah, it's just.
I think there's an Italian sickness.
What's that?
We've identified the Peruvian sickness. There's an Italian kind of sickness where we just bullshit. We even bullshit each other, our family and friends. And we just there's just this thing. It's like there's this veneer that we just bullshit each other and we're just used to it. It's fucking annoying.
Well, I don't know if you think I'm bullshitting you. I mean, there's some things I don't really like to bring out online. I'd rather be a little bit more ambiguous about it.
It's fine. It's fine.
Right?
It's fine.
But it's there. It's
The
there.
same.
People that were around in the beginning know.
All right.
All I could say is that today I'm in a place.
What a fucking Weasley little liar, dude.
All I could say is that today I'm in a place where I have a new feeling for life. I see my life in a different way. I could see the future again, or not that I'm not living in the future, but I could see a future.
I'm kind of retarded.
I'm a little retarded, yes.
Okay,
but
Talcott over here. You sound exactly like Talcott. You can't identify or ascertain what the thing was that caused something, and then have that give a story about how you fixed it. Come on, man.
Bro, I don't know what to tell you other than that. If first of all, it's been a long time. There's
could
a lot
it be
of
that you're still in the confusion, that you actually don't know about what the problem was?
No, I do know. I don't want to get too deep into it, but I do know.
All right.
Like I said, I mean,
I'm trying.
Yeah, it's.
You just sometimes I hear just fucking Italians like Paul's dad, my brothers. It's just always like, well, even the what is it, the countenance? Well, corporate speak, inauthentic, insurance, politics, government.
The only thing I can tell you is if I were to look at my part in it, maybe I was too preoccupied with things of this world at the time, where I could have been more preoccupied with, what was happening directly between my wife and I, and sort of, life takes a hold of you and you sort of follow a path. And I was in a place where, you have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. You got bills to pay, and you sort of forget, right, that there's more to it than just what this world is of this world, right? And there is that Italian thing, yes, where it's been implanted in us that somehow we have to, leave something for our children. Leave them better financially, whatever, for our children. And that's sort of always been a little bit of possibly an impediment in my mind. And it kept me from making the decision to sell this place for a long time. Whereas now I understand that this place in the end means nothing.
Also,
the relationship with my children. The relationship with my children means much, much more than what this place is or what any other place will be. Right?
Also, leaving physical things to the progeny isn't really helpful if you don't help them understand how to use it and protect it and grow, right? So I see too many people doing that. And it's a fucking joke. Their progeny are still children, maybe 30, 18, 30, doesn't matter. they don't know what the fuck to do with millions of dollars or a
Yeah.
house or anything.
And that's evident with my family, not my children but my parents, my mother, my sisters. That's very evident what you're talking about, because my mother is the last living person holding on to the wealth that my father had created, and she knows zero on how to deal with it. Now, finally, she's coming a little bit closer to me, and I'm helping her get into that direction where she's, looking at least at creating a trust and putting everything in that rather than lose it, because half of it's already gone. Right? There's very little left. Well, little. There's a good portion left, but yeah, they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They just worked and tried to leave something, and in the end it was squandered.
Yeah, and then we can't,
without even knowing.
Yeah. But then I hate to be super like sounding judgy, but like I see these men and then all they do is work and they amass these physical resources, and then again they don't take the time to teach their progeny or find a non-blood related heir to fucking carry the thing on. So then what was it for? You completely dropped the ball because the resources are going to disappear if the energy can't be maintained. That's why I respect the Japanese on some level, because they won't give their stuff just to the sons. Like, they're going to find an actual, like, the best leader for their thing. Do you guys know that according to some statistic, who the fuck knows if it's correct, but 50% of the world's companies that are more than 100 years old are Japanese. Like 50% of them on Earth are Japanese, because they do longevity and honor, and on some level, right? I mean, the Japanese have done horrifying things in war. Some of them are complete pieces of garbage, evil scum. But I guess some of them are pretty long-term honor business. That kind of principle is really interesting. But
well, their society is based on trust and trust law.
Used to be.
Well, to some degree, it still is, but things change over time. But I, from what I understand, they have a strong tradition of holding things in trust, and that's probably what keeps that wealth around, right? And I'm in that process where I put everything in trust so that I can, and I don't totally understand it. I have some help with it. And, but I'm at the point now where at least I have whatever I've created protected. And my children hopefully will follow that through and grow it rather than diminish it like my mother and my sister and my cousins did with the wealth my father created, right?
Dude, a trust is simply property entrusted by word. Yeah. Word is bond. It could be on a napkin.
Yes, and I don't. When did you put it on a napkin? We made it more formal, where we put everything on paper. We've got. I have everything listed. Right, I have the trustees are listed.
Yeah.
All of that, right, and it's irrevocable. So.
Yeah. Okay, nice. Just simply putting it what it is on and just making it clear, really.
Yeah, it took a little bit of not convincing, but to help my son sort of see what I'm talking about. Now he's kind of getting more on board. He's a much better businessman than I am, like in terms of business. And he didn't at first and wasn't really on board with this whole trust thing. He didn't understand it. Now he's starting to learn about it and he wants to know more. And so he's looking into it on his own. So hopefully he can be a more stand-up trustee that will maintain the wealth over generations rather than have it just squandered. I think he will be.
Nice.
So
that's good, man.
Well, time remains. We'll see how time shows it. now that it's spring, I've been doing some cleanup around the place because just stuff over years. You accumulate crap, and I'm a bit of a hoarder, so I've been trying to get rid of shit and clean up a little bit, make the place look a little more presentable. Although people that are going to buy this property aren't buying it for what's on it. They'll probably bulldoze everything on it, but you still want to make a better impression. And so I've been doing all that, and I've been getting a lot of interest lately. So hopefully there'll be some point where, well, not hopefully, there will be a point where it just happens and I can move forward. Then when I get to the next place, I want to have a more serious discussion with the people at the county and maybe, give out some notices and try to figure out where I stand with them. And maybe, who knows, I might not even purchase that property. I've been thinking lately. In the end, I may decide to just go further north, find something, different, invest the money in other ways, buy some gold, buy some whatever, other pieces of land further away. So, yeah, the world is open to me right now where it wasn't just a short couple of years ago. And again, I'm going to thank Paul for being part of that process, right? Although he could have done fuck all without me allowing him in or not allowing anybody in. No one can do anything without, choosing to allow it in. Like the freak thinks Trump is going to save him and the fucking temple is going to be built so he can go to heaven and be with Jesus. Like, he's so deluded, he has no fucking control. Like, it's out of control, the delusion. So someone like Paul or anybody or yourself or whoever can do nothing for someone like that because they won't allow it in. The door is closed. All right, they're not willing to open the door. They don't care if there's a light on the other side of the door. They just lock that door and don't want to open it. And that's where I've always had that ability to say, okay, it's time to change. It's time to move. It's time to switch directions. It's time to open the door. Take responsibility.
The world is a terrifying place.
You just don't know Jeremiah 1:4.
We need a meaning to survive, to live properly, and we're ready to suffer and undergo sacrifice in order to preserve this meaning. He who
UCC 1 2 3 USA. That's not me.
Man who has a meaning can overcome and confront life's troubles. Man without a meaning is bound to descend into the void. Jung, however, believes that we must look in the darkest places, because in the darkest places you can find what shines, and if something shines in the darkness, you know it's a real light. He writes, filling the conscious mind with ideal conceptions is a characteristic feature of Western theosophy, but not the confrontation with the shadow and the world of darkness.
His channel now?
One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. The latter procedure,
are you aware of
however,
Viktor Frankl
is disagreeable
and his
therefore not popular. In Western theosophy,
Me,
the
no.
way in which the West
I don't like doing that. This is me personally. I don't like to read one guy's thing and then
Jung tells
I don't
us
know.
to
I
make
just never
our
got into it.
darkness conscious. That is
Well,
the
no,
main
I mean, you
word
don't have
of
to read his thing. It's just
to integrate
he wrote
our
a book
shadow
based
is what
on
gives man
man's search for meaning.
personality. To achieve a profound meaning
it's
in
just
life
an interesting
means that we must go through
with some
dark
good
places
ideas. That's all.
and walk to
Might
the
be a
light
good
at
thing
the end.
to
No tree,
do
it is
on
said,
Paul's
can
broadcast
grow
if he
to
was
heaven
interested.
unless its
To do
roots
some
reach
readings
down
from that
to
book
hell.
because there's a lot of
the
good
West
shit in
and
it.
East have different views on the meaning of life. Jung writes, to Western man, the meaninglessness of a merely static universe is unbearable. He must assume
Anyways, okay.
that it has
I'll see you
meaning.
guys later.
The
Maybe I'll come
Oriental
up
does
on
not
Paul's
make
in a
this
little while.
assumption. Rather, he himself embodies it. Whereas the Occidental
Okay,
feels the
take it
need
easy,
to
Timmy. Take
complete
it easy,
the meaning of the
OTW.
world,
You
the
too, brother.
Oriental
Later, Luke.
strives for the fulfillment of the meaning in man, stripping the world and existence from himself. Buddha, I would say that both are right. Western man seems predominantly extroverted, Eastern man predominantly introverted. The former projects the meaning and considers that it exists in objects. The latter feels meaning in himself, but the meaning is both within and without. So, what is the meaning of life? This question can be quite deceptive. We mustn't think of it as a static relation to be realized with a simple answer. It is hard to think of a single proposition that can make your life meaningful in an instant. One can, however, orient oneself more meaningfully towards one's goals. To find meaning is a dynamic process that constantly shapes yourself, immerses yourself in reality, and has reality immersed in you. Although the term meaningful life is commonly used, it has no clear definition. We can, however, reframe the question as, what are the conditions under which an individual will experience his life as meaningful? When an individual states that he seeks meaning in his life, he is positively committed